And hello there, everybody. Welcome to so many things. Salamander Coast. We also have the return of Poe. He's right below me, and I'm so excited to have Evan back because Evan, I always talk you up when you're not here because you haven't been. So now, just because you're back and there's people watching, I want to praise you right now.
What?
And yeah, because my favorite thing about you, as it's our Thor and Infinity War moment. My favorite thing about you as a player is the fact that you have this this almost childlike curiosity when it comes to the game and passion for it. And honestly, it is so great. It's one of my favorite things about you as a player. And you haven't played a whole bunch, in this style of D&D in a while. So you're always coming up with these whack ass plans, and I'm for it. Man.
Well, I mentioned it in one of the channels, which I realized I didn't really answer Ryan's question at all when I answered it when I sent that message. But I always think back to the first campaign I've had with you when I made Roderick, and it all stems from that, where it's like the thing that fascinates me about D&D is the fact that, well, one, it's pretty much limitless, but on top of that, I mean, the amount of things that you can do is just, it's mind-boggling. So every time I am thrown in a situation, I always try to think, what can I do as a player to really cleverly maneuver around this and kind of the unexpected and do something that's more D&D related, not just game related, but also nothing that's going to okay, I say this now, but there was a time when that was different. But I also try not to do anything that's going to break your story or break your game. But I mean, there was a time when I literally
went out of your way to do so. But,
to break, yes.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'll say I enjoy the idea of breaking the game, because that's what they did in. Well, we won't talk about
really?
That. You don't know who they is yet.
Oh no.
They found a ship that belonged to Asmodeus, and well, the rest is history now. So
literally,
as always, before we get started, there are just we cracked it. It's not broke yet. Oh, God bless Felicity. There are a few things that I want to do like I do every stream. I know I probably sound like a broken record, but for one, welcome to Roll with Advantage. My name is Joe, and I will be your Dungeon Master tonight, as I am every single Tuesday. Well, this week, Thursday. I'll get to that in a second. Friday and Saturday. So, first things first, as always, I want to give a big thank you to our artists. So Lisa, Gemma, and Andy, who do a culmination of different artworks for the channel. And Lisa and Gemma actually play in Isles of Ivarian, which is on Saturdays. So, check out their Instagrams. Leave a follow for them because they are all really, really talented artists. Second thing, as always, Gemma, actually, the amazing artist that she is, we do have merch, which is on Teespring. There's only one thing there now, but she's working on a few other things, and I'm so excited because they're so wholesome and so lovely, and I'm very ready. And the last thing is, if you can't tell, things look a little different than Roll20, because starting today, we are moving from Roll20 to the Foundry tabletop, virtual tabletop, and I am so excited because this program has so many different wonderful uses, and if you are willing to take the time to learn it and to move your players over to it, it's chef's kiss. It really is. It's quite amazing. And hopefully, I say all that now, and then it's just going to be an absolute train wreck of a disaster tech-wise tonight.
No, you got this.
We got it. I'm ready. You think I can handle it? Nothing's too complicated. I gotta stop saying that because now everything's gonna be complicated. So, hey, it's only Evan if it breaks, right?
Okay, well, true.
Alrighty. So I think with that, oh, Evan, you haven't seen this yet. I don't think. Do you have the Twitch stream pulled up?
Yeah, I do.
You do. Okay, alrighty. So with that, I think that we're ready to start. But first, as always, I think we should roll our intro.
Oh, what?
yeah,
Hold on, let me turn the volume up on it and everything. Let's see it.
All right, and let's go.
Crap. Jeez, the music was great too.
Nice part about the music is that was actually an original composition by Luca David, who is actually a good the significant other of the one and only Felicity, who's actually in the chat.
Really?
Is Bianca Dussault.
Dang.
So I recommend you go check out Luca and Julia on Facebook. They've got lots of music there, and it's a vibe. That's for sure. I like it. It's my type of vibe. So I thoroughly encourage you to go check it out.
That was perfect.
I know, and Evan was at the party when I met him. Hey, look at that. Okay. So...
I was there actually. I totally was there. I remember it vividly. It's so like sentimental now. That's awesome. And you did a great job with it too. That's awesome.
Yeah, I absolutely am in love. Not just with that, but with all my players, and that's why I'm so happy that the family can finally get back together after this one shot. Because, Evan, if you remember, Poe departed from the party. Because he had some stuff he had to accomplish.
Right.
So, I think that we should get into this. So, a few things that have changed, sort of out of character, out of game, that you should know.
Okay.
In order to make sure that this makes sense, timey-wimey-wise, Poe would have left in the first week of downtime. So he would have made his sword, and he would have sort of fine-tuned his armor, and then after that is when he would have got that vision and then departed. So that way we can have this make sense. Okay? That's the only thing.
Got it.
Change.
Okay.
Alrighty. So with that, I think that we can go ahead and start. So, music.
All right.
And let's start this music.
It's been a while. Might be a little rusty. Just saying.
Oh no, you're gonna be perfect. You're perfect. The only thing that I want you to do for me real quick is just do a test roll. Make sure that it pops up on the stream.
Gladly.
Bada bing, bada boom. There it is. Oh, that's the money right there. Alrighty. So, Hawassa Anoa, I think that it's time for us to dig in to what Poe has been up to while he's been away from the party. So, Poe, you remember that first week very fondly after stumbling upon Selrid and what he was doing to the people of Summer's Rest. You realize that you won't stand for this. And if you have to do it alone, you will. But luckily, in that moment, your companions, these people that you had been forced to be with, they decided to stand with you. They decided to stand united against Selrid. All odds against you, you prevailed. Selrid was proven to be guilty, a liar, and a thief. And a murderer. And a blackmailer. All of these things, the worst type of person in the shell of what most consider to be the nicest, kindest of races, furbolgs. But you proved that he was a bad man, and that he was doing terrible things. So, with your help and the rest of the party, you were able to bring that to the attention of Captain Veronica and of Rose Fisher, the investor and pseudo-mayor of Summer's Rest, bringing that to their attention with the evidence that you found. Selrid was imprisoned, put to trial, and awaiting his final judgment currently, as you are getting into your first week of downtime. In this first week of downtime, you do what any good Noah would do. After a mighty victory over a terrible foe, any rewards you get, they are poured directly into your armor, enhancing yourself so you can be the best weapon possible to protect your friends and to find glory for yourself. You create your weapons and armor using a special material known as Chardolin, an icy material from the frozen reaches of the very corners of the world. A gift from you, a gift too from Anayaya, the mineralist and gemstone specialist in Summer's Rest who had her shop burned down, an old friend of your father's. You take that Chardolin, you take it to the blacksmith of Summer's Rest. Oh man. Oh, there's so many NPC names. Cannot think of his name right now. But you take it to the blacksmith of Summer's Rest, and you, working together with him, you're able to forge a new blade. One that is trimmed along the edges with that material, enhancing your weapon so with each strike, at least for a short period of time, it will do an extra 1d4 cold damage. So, you and him work together on it, and the father of Thomas, you create a good bond between the two of you, knowing that if you ever return to Summer's Rest, that he would welcome you with arms wide open. Why did I just quote Creed? That's fine. He would welcome you, and you would be able to work at his forge anytime you wanted to. But the night after finishing your weapon, your new blade, as is common for you, a new thing is put in front of you. Originally, you had been in Summer's Rest with the rest of the party. You had been there with them, ready to go off on another whirlwind adventure, wanting to discover more, to be more, to do more with them. Whether you know it or not, or whether you accept it or not, they care about you, and they want to stay together. But as with any Anoa's fate, sometimes you're pulled away. Sometimes your whirlwind is different than theirs. Fate pushing and pulling you away, as is the fate of an Anoa. The end of that first week, the night you finish your blade, after you've practiced with it, and you really feel like you are proud of it and ready to show the party, you receive a vision that night. It is foggy and misty. It is blurry. Cannot exactly make out the exact shapes, but you see sharp, jagged plateaus jutting out of a cliffside. You see crashing waves piled with sheets of ice slamming into that coastline. The waves are so clear to you. The sound of sails buffeting and water crashing into the side of the coast. You can hear it. You can taste the salt of the sea. And nestled in between two jutting outcroppings, you see a building. You see a building encased in ice and snow. A building looks familiar to you. You can't exactly connect with it, but you feel it in your gut. Something is pulling you there. You're not exactly sure what it is, but something is pulling. You begin to float and drift, and the closer you get, you can see that the building seems to give off this sickly green glow that reflects off of the stark white snow near it. Something calls to you from inside that building. A voice similar to your own, older, more mature, stronger. Tikokuru, the all-consuming storm rises from the depths, Poe. This will delay him. Hone your skills and be prepared for the day of unending storms. You must go find your destiny and your fate. You will be able to find them when you return. But there are others who need you more now. With that, the voice slowly fades away as you begin to float back up into the clouds, pulled away from that building, from the ice and snow, the sickly green light, the jutting outcroppings and plateaus, the crashing of the waves, the winter weather, you see the evergreen pines caked in snow just miles away. You have an idea of where that is. The edge of the evergreen expanse right along the side of the cracked coastline. You know that place. You've studied maps before. You know where you have to go. Destiny is calling to you. You can't ignore it. With that, you're pulled above the clouds and you awake in Summer's Rest. In Bianca's shop, you can see Ashima and Bianca and Cecily and Desmond all resting, sleeping. You want to stay. You would want nothing more than to stay with your friends and be happy, but that's not what Anoas do. They sacrifice everything. If it means saving even just one person. You don't want to wake them because you know they'll be angry. You know they'll try to stop you, or even worse, they'll say that they have to come with you. You don't want to put them in that danger. You already did that once, and you couldn't stand yourself if you did it again. So, you quietly collect your items, you make your way downstairs, and you find a piece of parchment, some ink, and a quill, and you write them a letter, trying your best to explain your thought process and telling them that you'll be back. But you have a feeling that, well, you hope you'll be back. And you push any other feelings beneath you and away. You're in a Noah. You look death in the face, and you prevail. Fears quelled, note written. You open up the door to Bianca's shop, and you leave. You step out into the cool autumn air. You can tell that it is just on the brink of winter. A few more weeks, and everything around you will be caked and covered in snow. So, Poe, I have to ask, is there anything you would like to do before you leave Summer's Rest?
No, I think leaving the letter would have been the thing I would have wanted to do, and we just did that. So
Okay.
I think now's the time to get moving.
Alrighty. So you have all of your items, you have all of your supplies, you have your new sword, your freshly forged armor, and you leave Summer's Rest, headed away towards the evergreen expanse in the direction of the cracked coastline. So, travel begins for Poe, and, well, traveling by yourself, especially going this way, you don't exactly have the most fond memories of traveling eastward, but know you need to press forward. And you can see that some of the trees around you, although they're mostly evergreen trees, there are some coniferous trees, trees that change from autumn to fall, or from fall to winter to spring and then summer again. And as you are traveling, well, you do get sucked away in the beauty a little bit. The trees changing, the orange and yellows colliding together as you walk along your path. Every once in a while being passed by a guard. Nods, make sure that you're doing all right, and you continue along your merry way. Although you know that there is a great deal of danger ahead of you, you feel as though that, well, you can handle it. So, is there anything in particular you'd like to do as you are in these first, let's just say, week and a half of travel?
Well, knowing Poe, he would have definitely, if I'm taking the path back, he would have definitely stopped at that church or chapel or temple where we got that really gross food. But now it's sentimental to him, so he would have eaten it and maybe stayed his first night there.
Okay, yeah. Yeah, that checks out. So you take your watered down potato and parsnip stew. You eat it with a grimace, but with a smile as well. So you stop there and you continue on journey. You continue on, walking day after day after day, and it's about the 5th or 6th day of travel where you really, really, really wish you would have bought a horse. You can imagine how much easier this would have been if you could have bought a horse, but sadly, you didn't. There are a few moments with bandits trying to ambush you in the middle of the forest. Only 2 or 3, enough that Poe by himself could handle. So this is a flavor thing for you, Poe. Would you take them out non-lethally, or would you exert lethal force?
I think Poe would reasonably try to take the non-lethal route, if possible. But of course, I mean, there's situations where you can't help it. But he would definitely take the non-lethal route first.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. So, sorry, I just forgot we never added your full damage to that sword. So I was just doing that real quick. Okay, so yeah, I mean, especially because there's not a whole bunch of them, you are pretty easily able to take them out using the non-lethal force. You know, after you do deliver a few cuts to them, and once they're weak enough, you end up smacking them with the butt of your blade, the blunt end of your blade, or the pommel of your longsword, and it's enough that they end up knocking out, and you're able just to leave them there. Are you going to loot them, or are you going to just keep walking?
No, I'll keep walking.
Okay, so yeah. If they were trying to rob you, they probably didn't have anything anyway. So, you continue and you continue, and it's around the 7th or 8th day when you realize you made a grave mistake. You see, Shima was always the wisest of the group. He was always the one who did the most planning. Anytime you had to go anywhere, he would always make sure that there were enough rations, that the horses had enough rations, that there were backup items, that there was a woodcutter's axe in case you needed to harvest wood and the wood you had wasn't good enough. He was always the person who made sure that every single thing you needed was there. And you realize, as you're adventuring, that you've run out of rations. You have nothing more to eat, and you are starting to get hungry. A day passes, and you can stomach it, hoping that you can find some fresh berries. So, Poe, as you're running out of food, what would you like to do?
Is there a pond nearby? Or a river?
Go ahead and make a survival check for me.
All right. One sec. Let me remember how to get to my things.
Oh, that's
I
right.
remember
Your
now.
token's not on there, yeah. You got it.
Okay. You said a survival check?
Survival check, yes.
Or... Is this right? Oh, no.
Ooh, okay. Alrighty. So, Poe, you were on the road for the most part, following it for as long as you could before you knew you needed to diverge. The issue arises when you say, I'll diverge for a little bit to find a pond.
Oh no.
And you step away from the road, not thinking to look at the sun at all, to keep in mind where it's at. No, you just go. And you wander around for about 3 hours, and all of the trees start to look the same. You have an idea of east and west, kind of. You don't exactly find any food. You do see in your journey, your roundabout track, there is a bush with blue and red berries that seems to be growing near what almost seems to be a batch of like yellow lilies. They're berries, some food.
All right. What do I know about berries, Joe?
Make a survival check, Poe. That is better. You do remember these berries are specifically called eldermount berries, and the thing is, there is a type of bird that lives in that's native to Bella Clara that can eat these berries fine. They have a special digestive tract that allows them to break down the different acids that are inside and use them as nutrients instead. You, however, these berries could melt a hole through your small intestine if you're not careful. You do know, though, that if you boil them for long enough in water, that sometimes can remove the acidic effect.
Sometimes.
If you boil them correctly, yes.
All right. I'll take some of those berries, but I'm not going to eat them just yet.
Okay, all right. We'll say you take 5 elderberries.
Okay. Deal.
Deal. All right.
5 elderberries.
So.
And yeah, so I'm lost right now, right?
Yeah, you're pretty lost right now.
Jeez. Okay. And I still didn't find any water.
No, right now you're lost. You are thirsty and you're hungry, and you only have sometimes poisonous berries.
Sometimes poisonous berries. Okay. One sec, let me check.
You're good. It's funny. I like watching your cursor move because I can see you like frantically going.
Yeah, go through our inventory.
Oh, that's good.
All right, you know what? I'm lost. I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. I honestly, I'm thinking about like what Evan would do in this situation if I was in the woods. I'm gonna try to retrace my steps while also trying really hard to find water. So I want to be productive in terms of finding my direction, but I also want to try and get water as well. So
go ahead and make another survival check for me. Trying to retrace your steps, and you're also trying to find water at the same time.
Are you serious? What is going on?
All right.
Okay.
So you continue to wander, and you're not able to find the road. It seems like no matter how far you travel in what you think is the right direction to get to the road, or wherever you think your footprints might have been, you cannot find it. The thing you do know is east is the direction you need to go. As you are traveling, I will say that you do find a collection of different berries that you know are definitely not poisonous. You can see that, even some fruits. You find like a few apple trees here. They're almost like crab apple trees, and they haven't exactly gone bad yet. So you're able to pluck those off, and you're able to have 5 apples. And you eat 2 in that current moment just because you're so hungry. And then you keep the other 3 on you and try and eat them as sparingly as possible. So now, in the woods, all you know is that east is where you need to go.
All right. Can I see the sun through the trees?
Yeah, kind of. You can get just sort of little like god rays almost, just sort of blaring through the different trees, as there's not really any road nearby, so it's harder to get a clear view of it. But yeah, you generally know where north, east, and west, and south is. Yeah, also south.
All right. I don't want to go into any of those directions. I want to go to the east one and use the what is it? Process of elimination. Not northeast, not west, not south, not north. I'll go the other direction.
Okay.
So east.
Alrighty. So you just decide to march forward going east. You always...
Yeah, sorry, I do want to point out, I do want to try and keep track of the sun and see if I can notice the rays are going down in a certain direction or whatever. I'm not sure what direction your sun rises or falls in, but I hope Poe knows, so I'm banking on that.
For simplicity, it rises in the east, sets in the west.
Okay.
Same reason why I have 24-hour-long days and 30-month day calendars.
Got it. Perfect.
Okay, so then I'll have you make a survival check with advantage, as this is a really, really specific thing.
Okay.
Nice. Alrighty. So I'll say with that, you are able to make your way through, and you're able to make some good progress. You do see that there are quite a few more bushes that start to sprout out to you. As you're now paying a little bit more attention, you're starting to really focus on what you're doing. It doesn't seem like food will be an issue, as you're able to find lots of little bushes full of berries that are buried underneath grass, like these mounds of grass that just kind of overgrown over it. And you do manage to find one stream. It's a very small stream, and it's hard to sort of sip water out of it, but you can. The issue is then boiling, so it's drinkable. You're not sure. Well, after just taking one sip of it, you can tell that it is not fresh water.
Oh, it isn't.
It is not.
Okay.
No.
All right. Do you see my cursor going?
Yeah, I see you freaking out.
All right. So I was hoping to find a pond or a river. And first thing I thought of is Poe was going to go fishing somehow, and he was going to get fish to eat. But I didn't think, there'd be apples or berries or even other kind of things that naturally grow around. So that was a surprise for Poe. But so is there any water in my water skin at all?
At this point, probably not. You're probably drinking it all right.
Not.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to try to get as much water as I can in this water skin. And I'm not sure if my hammer has any capabilities of doing that, of doing certain things, but I want to at least... Wait a second. Hold on. I do have a question about something.
I think you might have a spell.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm... How about this? Hold on. Okay, I have to I don't know how to write it straight to chat. Here, actually, I think I do. Wait, no, I don't. That's not what I wanted. Oh, well, here. Oh, wait.
There. Oh, hey, look at that. There it worked.
Great.
Yeah.
Up to 10 gallons of clean water
Uh-huh. There you go.
within range in an open container. I'm going to put down my water skin.
Okay, so
Water genasi. That's
water
how we do
genasi
it.
can
I'm glad it took
water.
this entire trip to remember.
Hey, that's
But
alright.
there we go.
So, you then have a eureka moment where you're trying to figure out how you're going to boil this water because you don't ever remember grabbing a tinderbox. You also don't have an axe to cut down wood. You feel like a real idiot. You know that Bianca's an adult. She would have forgot wood or at least a tinderbox. She's a tiefling. She could at least make fire if nothing else. You're a water genasi. You don't make fire. You make, and then at that moment you snap with the water skin out, and the water skin is filled up with water. There you go. You also have a small moment of missing Desmond, as while Desmond is not a natural forager, he is quite good at moving around unseen, and you're sure that if Desmond was here, him and Bianca probably could have hunted and caught a deer or something, but you look at your lack of arrow and quivers and abundance of a net, and while the net has gotten you out of a few sticky situations, sadly, not so great at hunting deer or rabbits. But you have water, you have fresh fruit, so you're able to continue on throughout the autumn fairly safely. However, an issue does arise within the next few days. Traveling for about a week and a half, 2 weeks, things are pretty good. But then, and very sadly, that first snowflake begins to fall as those last few leaves fall off of the trees. It begins to snow. So, you now are huddling close to yourself in the winter and shivering because who would have thought to bring a jacket, a coat, something? You know that there was one thing that Cecily, in your time of knowing her in the winter and Waterswake, that she would always say whenever she found you and came and asked you for money for her brother. There was a small moment of annoyance there, but it quickly passes, as she would always say, how could she be cold when she's always underneath such a warm pile of garbage? And you would give anything right now to be under a warm pile of garbage. But you're not.
Yeah.
The snow is falling, and it's falling quite fast. You still have water, you still have berries, but it's cold. And you try your best to trudge through the snow, eventually up to your calves, just trudging through time after time after time. But nothing is helping. Few more days pass, you think? How can you be sure? The sun is only up for a few hours every day. I'm not sure if there is any daylight anymore. You think for a moment that you might already be dead, that you failed your mission already. You fall into the snow, and you can feel the snow pile on top of you. You've consigned to your fate. You tried, but without your friends, how are you supposed to do this? How? And then there's darkness and cold. You have 1,000 images flash in your mind in the span of seconds. You have your father, you have you growing up in the forge, you have you meeting Cecily for the first time and watching Desmond in his first fight, the first moment of wisdom that Ashima ever gave you, the moment that Bianca gave you a health potion that she made, special for you. Moment, all of them doing something for you. Even Cecily, up until that moment, seeming so selfish, doing things to try and save you. You have flashes of what you almost feel like are the future. You, older, all of the rest of your old friends, older, doing things that you love and enjoy and being together. And there is a moment of sadness and grief and anger when you realize you'll never, ever get any of those. Because you failed. And in that last moment, when you allow the darkness to come over you entirely, you feel a jerk at your leg. And then another one. And you can barely open your eyes, but you see two individuals, at least the two blurs of individuals. You see someone short and stout, and you mumble Shima. And you see another person, tall and more lithe, with what almost a darker shade of hair, and you think that it might be Bianca. And you murmur that too, until eventually darkness comes again. And as you reawake, you are wrapped in bundles of warm furs inside a tent. You can see through the flaps of a tent that there is a fire burning. And you can hear two individuals talking in low, hushed voices. So, Poe, as you are in the tent, what do you want to do?
What all is in the tent again around me?
So there is, looks to be a small lantern that's not currently lit, that's sitting on top of a wooden crate. Then there are just an abundance of furs and blankets inside of here, along with a few backpacks, and your armor and weapons are all setting off next to you as well. Currently, you're just wearing your sort of gambeson and pants, and you can see that you have a new pair of leather boots on as well. Yours are nowhere to be seen. Your old ones are.
And I'm warm and I'm good? Or am I still recovering pretty hard?
Not too much. I mean, you definitely still feel that bite of cold in your bones, but other than that, you feel all right.
All right. Well, cautiously, I'm going to try putting on my armor and putting away my sword just so I'm prepared to confront whoever put me in here, but I'm not going to rush or anything. That's what's going to make me comfortable in this situation. I'm sure these people were super nice for saving me, but I need to be prepared.
Okay, yeah, sounds good to me. So you take a few moments to put on your armor, and you can hear one hushed voice, an older voice, say, "I think he must be awake." And a more smooth voice say, "I think you might be right. Should we check on him or wait? Let's give him time. If he needed something or was in pain, he probably would have said something already." So, Poe, you hear that as you're slowly putting your armor on. You can see that next to your armor there is a heavy fur cloak. It seems to have a hood on it. You can put that on as well?
Yes, definitely. That sounds awesome.
Okay. So, you put the cloak, and as you make your way out of the tent, you see that there are two individuals. A tall, more lithe, half-orc man in studded leather armor, along with a heavy fur cloak, and then a small folk man. You're not sure if he's a gnome or a dwarf because his ears, the long points, indicate gnome, but he's got this huge, huge, deep brown beard and this mane of hair, except for one, very large bald spot on the top. But the sides and the beard just come together to make this almost bottom mane along his chin. And the two turn to you, and you can see that Um, they smile, look up to you. Let me go ahead. You here? Let's see. And pull all to see. So, Poe, as you exit, like I said, you can see those two. And they turn to you, and the gnomish small folk man sort of smiles this toothy grin, and you can see most of his teeth are missing. And he says, "So, did you sleep well?" And you can see his jaw kind of hangs open off the one side. And the interesting thing about this man is you can see that he has one peg leg, and then he's got just his left arm has no hand on it. There's a long cloak covering it, but there's definitely no hand coming out of the end of that cloak. And the lithe half-orc man has two small tusks that jut out of the bottom of his jaw. And he smiles a wry smile at you and says, "I agree. Did you sleep well?"
For what it's worth, yeah. You two are the ones who found me, I take it.
Yes, we are ones who found you. You kept muttering about a Shima and a Bianca and something about a pile of garbage.
Yeah, those two are some of my friends, but I left them a while ago. I was traveling alone. So, do you guys know where I am? Where'd you find me? I just lost so much sense of direction a while ago.
It's all right. Angmir, where would you say we are right now about? And you can see the man, the small folk man. He says, "Say we're close. It's for sure I can taste it. The salt. Can taste it right down. Bottom left corner of my tongue, which means it's close for sure." And you can see that half-orc man kind of look at him and... So we're close then. I'm assuming here that you also received a similar vision. A temple in ruins, covered in ice and snow, on the cracked coastline, yeah?
You guys saw that?
Well, I think I saw it. I don't know. I tend to, vivid dreams are not exactly new, but Angmir here thinks that you might be something special. That we were maybe sent here for you? I don't know. But he said we should come looking for somebody with your colored skin buried underneath snow. And what do we find? Someone who looks like you buried underneath snow. And you can see Angmir says, "Shit, we told you would find him. It was just a matter of time." And you can see as he's gesturing with his hands, as he gestures his left arm, the cloak kind of falls down a little bit, and you just get what looks to be like this gnarled piece of wood from the elbow up. And you can see what looks to be two different holes where his hand should be. And as he reaches his arm back down, as he stops gesturing, he says, "What did we find? We found the one we were looking for, and that must mean that the temple is, And he licks his finger and puts it up in the air, and there's it's made it that way, and this time at night, looking at the constellations, I'd say that it is, well, it has to be due south by southeast, about that way, pointing in this direction. Kind of sits back down on the ground, leaning up against the logs behind him, the fire blaring near him, asking these dark shadows across his face and illuminating the other side. So,
I'm gonna. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
he was just gonna say, so, what do you think about that, Jack? And you can see the half-orc just kind of chuckle and say, you never cease to amaze me, Angmir, that's for sure.
So, Poe at this point is going to go and sit by them, not in the fire like I almost did, but. So. You saw the same vision I did, but something told you to come find me in the snow. They even described who I am.
Well, there was no voice, at least as much as I remember. Angmir's more the dream guy. I've just been following his lead. Angmir says, shit. No voice, no voice. I saw the temple, I could feel the salt and the cold, I could see the glow. Then I saw you buried in the snow. And you looked. So I thought, well, I can't let that happen. You seem to, well, you glowed the same as the temple. It was the most peculiar thing. Temple was this sort of, light teal, very beautiful, and then there was a similar glow around you. Healthy, both of them. Not exactly sure, but as I told here, I wasn't willing to leave this behind and just chalk this up to another fever dream while on copious amounts of drugs. I knew that this one was real.
Okay, well, I thought I was gonna die out there. And a part of me also thought that because I was going to die out there, that part of what I saw was just something like a fever dream. But where are you guys from? How? Why here? Where are you guys coming from?
Well, the both of us were we were leaving the fractured peninsula and we were heading towards Lo Shah, of all places. We heard that we had supplies that we were delivering, and when we were getting ready to deliver these supplies, I had the vision. And so we decided to land in Port Alexi instead, and we wanted to make our way through the forest to where we thought it might be. And then lo and behold, on our journey, we found you. And he kind of boops your nose with this like grimy, almost like greasy finger with what looks to be some type of like black oil on it, and leaving a little spot on your nose.
Well, I'm thankful. I don't want to, like, trust me, I am more than grateful that you came here, but I don't want to burden you two anymore. But I do need to go to that spire temple place, and if you can show me which way is east, then I can be on my way and you guys can go back to doing what you were supposed to do before you saw that dream.
And you can see that the two of them sort of share a look, and then the half-orc looks to you and he says, well, you see, the issue there is we made port in Port Alexi. We had quite a night first getting there, as I've never seen a town so like it. And then there was this individual there, a Captain Darrow. Well, he had rounded up a few cronies and, well, we don't have a ship to go back to now. So we grabbed our supplies and we decided the only really lead we had here was you. So we thought, to hell with it. Might as well do something.
Well, I don't want to sound cheesy, but I mean, this whole thing's been kind of led on by a dream, so if you two saw this dream, then I guess maybe we were meant to travel to this place together.
Maybe. I just hope that there's enough money in there that we can buy a new ship. I don't think anything will ever replace the psychosis, but man can dream, can he? It kind of gives you this half-hearted smile. And Angmir, he says, maybe if we find a new ship, we buy a new ship, maybe we could give it a better name than the psychosis. Maybe, oh, is it too blunt just to call it the drug boat? And Pack just... Angmir, I think that might be best to keep any further name ideas to oneself. That's all right. No. It was just an idea. I'd... Kind of looking at you, Poe. You see? Back to Pack. Yes! And he kind of leans back up against the log, and you can see him pull up his sleeve and reveal the wooden bits and taking out of his heavy leather inlaid with fur coat, taking out a small pouch of tools, and just like with a screwdriver in one mouth and this special tool that almost looks like a fork, but with just two prongs, and there's like two gems on each tip of the fork. And as he flings it onto him, you can see that there is this frequency that you can hear, and then you can see these like tiny blue sparks begin to emanate from each one, meeting in the middle. And he kind of, with the screwdriver in his mouth, jams it into one of the folds of the wood and cracks it open, and you can see him just start to fiddle on the inside of this arm. There we go. And as you're just kind of like looking at him, just, what, you never seen a gnome mess with his arm before?
No, I can't say that I have, but I'm intrigued.
Take a look then. And it's just, he's like, hey, the screwdriver. And he sort of plops it out of his mouth, and you can see the top of the screwdriver is a little slobbery. He's like, just hold that right there.
That is disgusting. Okay.
So
I hold the screwdriver right there.
All right. And he starts fiddling around with it, and it's interesting. You can see that although the exterior seems to be gnarled up wood, the interior are these crystal clean cogs and wheels, and in the center of it all is this small, no bigger than your thumbnail, a little crystal that seems to emanate this deep blue glow. And you can see that all of the cogs are sort of powered by it. He said, sorry, I needed to clean something real quick. We ran into a pack of wolves, and, well, something exactly didn't work just right. And there you go. And he pulls out the fork, the wires, or the electricity sort of stops between the two, tucks it into the pouch, and he takes the screwdriver, tucks it into his pouch, and then tucks that into his cloak. And with that, he sort of flicks it shut, and you can see him reach up and out, and almost like he's just pointing, as if he had fingers, like pointing a finger gun, and he flicks his wrist, and there is a pow from the arm, as there is this muzzle flash, and then you can see in a tree there is a impact, a small flourish of flame, and then all of the snow on that evergreen tree just crashes down. And you can see Angmir says, got it, clean! Looks up to the two of you, and, oh, you're kind of, you're intrigued, but you can see Pack is just staring at him like, so, was the goal to attract every single wolf and bandit in these woods to us? Or were you just having fun? And Angmir sort of looks at him confused, and he's like, I mean, of course I was having fun. What? Why would I be trying to... You know, you don't have to do that to me. I never laugh, and it's only ever the two of us. And he says, Pax says, all right. I'm sorry. Angmir says, thank you. I accept your apology. Goes back to just sort of flicking the wood and listening to the notes that resonate from the inside. And Pax sort of looks to you and he says, so, feel free to sleep in that tent some more. One of the two of us will stay up for watch, and we'll wake you up in the morning. You've seemingly had a fairly rough time these past couple of days, so I'd rather you get your rest. It seems as though you said you heard a voice.
Yeah, I did. It implied something needs me wherever it is that it wants me to go, so.
Well, then whatever pulled you here wanted us to be here with you for some reason. So.
Definitely.
Well, I hope that whatever it is not dangerous at all and full of gold. Angmir, are you alright with taking the first watch? Angmir sort of listening to the resonance. Says, okay, go to sleep. Pax says, alright. Well, this is a good chat, Poe, but at least as far as I understand, we're only a couple days away from the temple. Angmir's right, you can almost taste the salt in the air. You know, I've sailed most of my life and I've never gotten used to it. He kind of stands up from the box that he was sitting on and begins to make his way to his tent. Eventually he gets inside.
Well, wake me up if you need anything. Angmir is your name, right?
It's my name. If I need anything...
Only if there is trouble, like a pack of wolves attacking you, then wake me up, please.
That's an important distinction.
Yes, it is. Thank you for pointing that out. All right. All right. Good night, Angmir.
Okay. You head back off into the tent, and you head to sleep. No visions this time around. Eventually, Angmir heads off, wakes up Pat, and they trade off shifts, and throughout the night, there is no danger. And with that, there are a few more nights of sleep until eventually, in the middle of the day, around 3 or 4 p.m., you break through a barrier of trees as you are navigating and moving throughout. And you get to know the two of them a little bit better over the course of those 2 days. You know that, for one, they were drug smugglers, and you come to terms with that in whatever way is possible for you. You learn a little bit about the two of them, how they grew up together in the fractured peninsula city of Fjardalet. It was a very rough life for them growing up. They never knew any of their parents. Nobody really ever cared about them except for each other. And Pack would always be the person to talk, whether that be to yell and scream at people because they were afraid of him because he was a half-orc, or because he's quite the looker, to talk to anybody who'd be willing to give him the time of day. During those moments, Angmir would be working behind the scenes, tinkering with something, or sneaking in somewhere to get whatever they needed. They made quite the team, and you can tell that there's a very, very prevalent relationship here that reminds you of you and Cecily. The bickering and aggressiveness between the two, the amount of times that they yell at each other to shut the hell up, but then the next moment are laughing together. And They never exclude you. They never tear you away or make you feel unwelcome. They're very nice people. But they're not your people. But you get to know them over the course of those 2 days, and if I'm remembering correctly, you still have that. You're the one who had the grappling, right?
Yes, I did make a note of it.
Okay. So you have that like strapped onto your wrist, probably about the halfway through the first day of travel. Elmir's like, question. As you guys are walking throughout the forest, my boy, the contraption there, is that right?
Oh, he's gonna look at his wrist. Yeah, sometimes I forget I even have it on. It's like a grappling hook, gauntlet thing. Found it in some caverns in Summer's Rest. Wait, hold on. Yes.
Okay.
I received it there. Yes, I got it in Summer's Rest. That's it.
Oh, I was just curious because, well, I think that it's quite interesting, really. Would you mind, and I don't want to presume at all, but maybe as a gift for saving your life, might I have it?
How do you say no in situations like this? Well, how do you say no in situations like this when you're a nice person? The thing is, this was a gift given to me and my friends. We're kind of a team, and we helped save some people in a dangerous scenario, and it was given to us with in confidence that we'd respect it. And while I would seriously love to give you this and way more for saving my life, it's just not mine alone to give.
Any contingency? Easy peasy. If only it was that easy in real life. Okay.
Yeah, seriously. Oh my goodness.
You continue on.
Socially.
And as I said, you get to the end of the second day, eventually getting to the third day, and as you break through a set of trees on the third day, you can see that you are on a cliffside, and there is a rickety stone bridge that descends down from where you're at along the cliffside until you see a temple, an area, a building of stone, very similar, exactly similar to what you saw. And as you are looking, you can see that there is that same sickly green glow emanating from that building. So, pretty low. Yeah. Let's see. Okay. Sorry, configured. See, these are the difficulties. There we go.
Oh, there it is.
All right.
Oh, that is awesome. The green effects on it.
I know, it's so great. I love it.
That is perfect.
You can see the stone bridge descending down towards that entrance. You can see the building caked in snow and ice. Same as your vision, that sickly green glow. And you can see that Angmir sort of looks at it confused. And he looks to you and looks to the temple and he says, no, this can't be the right one. You're supposed to go, it was supposed to be blue like how you were. And when we found you, you were blue and this is green. And Pack kind of looks between Elmir and you, and he says, Any insight here?
Hold on, I'm checking my notes. It definitely was this, right?
It definitely was green, yeah.
Okay. This guy... No, Angmir, I'm pretty sure this is it. This is exactly what I saw in my dream. Are you sure you weren't on too many drugs when you saw your dream?
And you see him kind of cock his head and look at you and his brows furrow a little bit. And I'd like you to make a persuasion check for me.
Okay.
Okay. He sort of looks at you and his brows furrow and his jaw clenches. And then they relax and he's like, as you say it, gods be damned, I think you might be right. What was that stuff we got from? Oh, we got it from Bromsgrove, and it was what was it? The serpent's jelly? Is that? No. That was from. It was the Lightbringer's gift. You tried some, right? And Pat just kind of visibly is a little embarrassed, and he says, "Yeah, I tried some. And what about it? Don't you remember when you would look at things, everything would look a different shade of a color? Sometimes everything would look like it was on fire. Sometimes everything looked like it was cased in ice. You would go through chills and sweats. And he kind of sees Yupo looking at him confused, I'm sure. He goes, well, long story short, I think you're right. No. 9 years. I think you might have a little bit of wisdom on you. You know, I would have given that gauntlet to the first person that asked. And you said no. It's a lesson to be learned there for sure. Kind of squints his eyes looking off to the temple. And Pack looks to you and says, well, lead the way, I guess.
Yeah. Just, make sure you got my back going in here. I'm no idea what to expect. And, Pope's gonna start walking forward, a hand on his, the hilt of his sword.
Okay. Alright. Sounds good. So, holding onto your sword, you make your way across the rickety stone bridge until you get to a door. Now, this door has no crease in it. Nothing at all. Instead, what it has is a small hole that looks like it would be just about the size of a person's arm, maybe? And on it, inscribed in what looks to be gibberish. And you can see Angmir and Pack, they sort of both look at it, and they say, Pack says, Angmir, do you recognize that script at all? And Angmir sort of stares. He says, no, do you? Pack says, no, I don't. Between the both of us, we know 15 different languages. We can only write 4 of them and read 2 of them, but we can... Oh, wait. We can only write 4 of them, but we can read a lot of them. We can speak all of them. We don't know that one. And Poe, as you focus in, the jumbled text begins to melt away until you see a language that you can't exactly place your finger on, but you know. It's not a spoken language, it's only written. At least you've never heard it spoken. And the text says simply, "You will show your true strength when you are at your weakest."
I'm going to recite that to him. I have no idea what language that is, but it seemed to have come natural to me.
And the two of them share a look and then look back at you. Right, well, okay. What does that mean for us, though?
I was hoping you guys would know. Strongest when you're at your weakest. So, this door only has that script on it with the hole.
Mm-hmm.
Strongest when I'm at my weakest. Okay. I guess I'm gonna fidget with the door a little bit. It can't be opened. I'm just assuming there's no way to open this right now.
Yeah, there's no crease or there's no area that
Right.
you would believe would let you in. Just that one hole that is maybe about has about maybe a 7 or 8 inch diameter. Well, no, a little bit larger than that. No, yeah, 7 or 8 inch diameter. That's about right.
All right. So I'm gonna try and very curiously move up to the hole, and I want to try. I don't want to commit, you know. I just want to kind of measure. I want to see if I can like fit my hand or arm into it. Specifically, I'm using my arm that has the gauntlet on it. But
So you reach in and you feel around. Then your arm does fit all the way up until about your shoulder, where it's all the way up against there. And as soon as you get all the way up against your shoulder, you can feel a lever, almost a pulley of some kind.
All right, I'm gonna pull it.
Okay. So if you're going to pull it, it jams a little bit, and you wriggle with it, and you have to twist counterclockwise and then pull. And as you yank and pull, you can feel something almost like grab onto your arm, and you begin to yank and pull harder, and you start to get this sinking feeling as you can't let go. You are just kind of stuck there, and you try and pull and pull and pull and pull, and you're not able to remove it. You feel almost like you're glued onto the handle now. You can't even let go of that. Something is keeping you here. Something is keeping you tied to this thing. And you can hear these different fogs and magical emanations, these blurrings and noises that are emanating from the inside of the stone wall, which your ear is almost pressed up against. And then you start to feel some type of slash or cut on your arm, right at your elbow. This sharp pain, and you can feel it stop for a moment. And you try and yank and pull, and Pack and Angmar is both yelling, "What's going on? What's going on?" Poe, what are you doing?
And I'm gonna keep trying to pull, and I'm just gonna. It has my arm. I can't get my arm out, and I'm gonna be like freaking out, pushing, trying everything.
Okay, so the two of them grab onto you and they try and yank you out and yank and pull. Just seems like nothing, nowhere is getting anywhere. Go ahead and make a strength check for me. Basic strength check. Okay. Alrighty. So, with that, the snow falling down all around you, the wind cool and cruel on your face. You can hear the crashing of the waves behind the temple. You can feel the blades return. What was there begins to snip and cut and tear through flesh and sinew, completely just separating skin from flesh, from bone, all of it, right at your elbow. So, Poe, you take... Okay, Poe, you take 24 points of damage as you yank and pull until eventually it does let go. And as you yank and pull, you can feel this brandish of heat from inside. As you yank and pull, Pack and Angmir, they sort of fall off as they're pulling you so hard, and you sort of yell and scream in pain as you look down at your arm. It's not there anymore.
What?
You just have from right above your elbow and you can see Pack and Angmir look to you in shock, and as they do, the door begins to crack open. The stone splitting. No sign of your arm at all, but that gauntlet with the grappling hook, clink, 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 down onto the ground. But from right above your elbow and up, for the most of your forearm and your hand, it's completely gone.
Am I just like bleeding out? Like, is it just like so clean that it's?
No, that blast of heat. That's what extra burst of damage. The cutting was bad enough, but that burst of heat burns you quite a bit, and so it is just this nub now. And it's cauterized, but it is still in a lot of pain. Lumir kind of drops down next to you and he says, "Oh, lad, that's not good." And he kind of pulls out a larger vial, a larger flask. And pulls off the cork and just, without you saying anything, just sort of jams it into your mouth and is going to go ahead and feed you with some greater healing potion. So let's do... I think that's what that is. All right.
That dice is so cool.
They're really gross looking.
Yeah, they kind of are, actually. They're still cool.
They're my Bloodborne dice.
Nice.
God, they're so gross. Okay. So, sorry, that doesn't have anything to do with the game. I
was like, dang.
I just wanted to roll the 2d100, yeah.
So much health, I could get my arm back.
It just grows back. So you do recover 22 hit points. From the d4 plus 4. And Angmir sort of looks between you and Pack, and he says, "Well, that was our only one, so let's hope that that was the only thing."
So, I mean, I'm going to be honest, I was not even coming close to expecting that. I have no idea how Poe would even react to something like that. All I can say is, like, in real life, I think about this happening all the time. And, I mean, Poe has to be in some sort of shock right now. Like, just think about the trauma of, like, not just, like, obviously it hurt really bad, but the fact that my arm is just gone. I don't even know which arm it was exactly, but right now,
I think it would have been your. Well, I guess you can choose whichever was his dominant because it was the one that he was wearing.
yes. Well, that's what I was going to say, because I was going to say it had to be my dominant one, which makes it even worse. Can you think of all the things, like all that time I spent, like forging my sword, fighting with that hand, like building and like crafting all this sword armor with my father, and all the stuff that you've done with it, and then it's just gone. Like, how do you role play that? Someone tell me, because there's no way. Especially when you have to keep moving forward. Like, what the heck? Anyways.
Hopefully he's ambidextrous.
Well, we're gonna find out. But hopefully he is at his strongest when he's at his weakest, because this group's gonna need that. Alright. So, traumatized, probably screaming before he gave me that vial, or whatever. I'm like holding onto my arm, it's terrifying. But, those words are ringing in my head, you know? Like, I'm at my strongest when I'm at my weakest, and if I trusted this voice to abandon my friends and my original goals, and to basically almost die in the snow, and to trust these strangers to bring me here, I'm going to trust these words on the door that, you know, at my strongest and my weakness. So after screaming on my knees and just full panic, there's going to be some kind of determination and motivation for Poe to keep going forward.
Okay. So you fall over, and even the two of them are like, if you'd like, we can take a moment. Oh, it's all right to take a moment.
No. I'm at my strongest when I'm at my weakest. He's going to keep going forward. Maybe. Gosh, I'm sorry. He's, you know, I'm sorry. I had to throw that badass sense. So he's going to keep going forward. That's his mantra right now.
Alrighty. Okay. So then you make your way down the steps, and you begin to descend into this abandoned crypt, this temple. You make your way down the stairs about 20, 30 feet, till eventually the stairs begin to descend even further by about 10 feet directly to your right. So, my view here. Reload the scene first. Alt scene. Okay. Alrighty. You're the cameraman.
Heck yeah.
So, you begin to make your way down, and as you turn the corner there, Angmir and Pack following along anxiously. As you turn the corner there, you do just barely begin to see two individuals. Two almost at first you think they're women, but their necks and parts of their arms are covered in these almost like scaly snakeskin, like a lizard, like a serpent. And there is a brief moment. They don't seem to have noticed you yet. They are in conversation with each other. What are you doing?
There's two doors on either side of them. It's a hallway. I'm going to tell the other two behind me, like, they haven't come around the corner yet. They are following me, right? So I'm going to, like, push them back into the... Hopefully these guys did not see me. Can I take control of this guy?
There we go. All right. So
I'm going to have them peek around so they can see.
Okay. So they both do that. So with that, I would like you, Pack, and Angmir, all three of you, to make stealth checks for me.
Oh, this is not good. Are you serious?
It's a
I
15.
have disadvantage. I know it's great. It's just the thing that I
heavy
am
armor,
not good
yeah.
at. Yeah. Where was that luck earlier?
Okay, 16 for Pat. And then Angmir.
Come on, Amy.
Come on, Angmir. No, Angmir, no! Okay, alright.
No.
So, you and Pack are both able to maintain the stealth. You're able to maintain the quiet. But as you bump into... Well, not as you bump into Angmir, you were able to stay quiet. It's when you are back here, and Angmir is peeking around the corner. He goes to peek around the corner, and he sees the two ladies, and you shiver in your boots because you hear him, and it must just be a compulsion. He goes... He just, like, whistles at them. And you see him sort of look to you, Poe, and go, fuck! And then go back to the corner. And you can hear from around the corner the two women who were there. And almost like rabid animals, they begin to make their way forward. And with that, I need you and Pack Angmir to roll for initiative.
All right.
Alrighty.
This is initiative, right? Okay, there's no active encounter.
Okay, alrighty. Alright, now there is.
Great. Okay. 14.12. That's gotta mean something good.
It's got that tiebreaker initiative on there for you. Alrighty, so then if you go up to the fist and you right click on it, that'll give you a pop-out window for the combat tracker. Okay, so let me go ahead and roll initiative for all these guys. Okay. Oh, look at all those D20s just popping out onto the screen. That's fun. Okay, so Poe, you are actually up first on initiative, so we'll go ahead with that. Begin combat. And Poe, you are up first. Luckily, Angmir is considered small, so you can move around him.
Oh, great. Okay. I'm gonna be like, oh, God. And he's gonna kind of holding his arm, getting to this. Oh no. Okay. Poe's just gonna pop out. We're doing this. Like, he's going to do it at all, but I mean, he was going to do it, but then he said stop, and now he's going to do it this time. So I'm going to be going after this one, and I am going to just go at it. My arm hurts bad, Joe, so I'm going to hammer. I'm going to point it at this thing, and I'm just going to... And then, what? That's not true. Hold on, I have to reset. Oh, wait. No. I should have all my spell slots, right? This is just from when I...
Oh, yeah. If you need to take a long rest real quick, you can.
Okay.
Oh, and then here, just let me...
Oh, yeah. Fix it.
Points from you. -2. There we go. All right, now you're back to regular.
All right. Disclaimer for anyone watching what happened. I was here casting tons of spells, and that's why they were gone. Anyways, here it goes.
That is a 14 to hit, and that just hits. Alrighty. So then you were guiding bolt there. Oh, okay. So then the next attack has advantage. Alrighty. So let me go ahead and let's see here. Just click on them, and then damage there, and then alright, cool. That does keep track, and then you can see on her. She is currently glowing because she has been guiding bolted. So we'll go ahead and use this, use that targeted thing there, so that way we know that she's guiding bolted. Okay. So you guiding bolt. What does Poe's guiding bolt look like as he shoots it out?
I imagine it's definitely blue and purpley, and it's just a beam. It's awesome. It looks great.
Okay,
it's massive too. I don't know.
this swirling mass of purple and blue, almost like crashing together, like waves coming and smacking into each other until eventually
Oh, yes.
two different things swirling around each other crash into her, and you can see that there is this swirl of purple and blue all around her, signaling that the next attack against her is going to be quite deadly. Okay, and with that, we actually come to Pack. So Pack is going to run past you, or run past Angmir, and squeeze past you here in this corner. There we go, right there. And he's going to get right in the thick of it here. And he is going to take 2 attacks. Let's see here. He's going to go ahead and do 2 with his short sword. 1 is an action, 1 is a bonus action. So 2 attacks, attack roll. And that's against the one right there. Okay, so that's a 15, but it's with advantage. So he's just going to wail into the 1 there. That is another 15. Okay. And then the second attack there. And then we'll go ahead and get some damage there. Okay. Okay, that's not bad. That's not bad. That is a total of, let's see, 16 points of damage between the 2 attacks. And actually, with that one, because of your guiding bolt, the second one would have missed had it not been for the advantage. That will be enough to send her over the edge and kill her.
Nice.
Alright, cool. Alrighty. So she is dead. And there we go. Alrighty. So that is her turn, and then we come to Umir. Umir's gonna go ahead and like dodge between your legs. He's gonna pull up his replacement for his missing arm, and you see him kind of look at you, and he shakes his head, and then he aims it again, and he's gonna take a shot at the one that is right near Pack. So let's go ahead and get that. The hand cannon there. Attack roll. That's a natural 1 though, so that's gonna be a miss. Damn, that was nice because that was max damage. So he fires off the cannon and it just slams into the. Oh, well, actually, Poe, I'd like you to roll a D100 for me. There's a 50-50 chance it's gonna hit Matt because it is a natural 1. Okay, here's the problem. I didn't say what was what, so 50 or below hits him. 51 or above doesn't. So re-roll that D100, just so we can see your pretty dice again.
Okay.
50 or below, it hits him. Okay, there we go. So fires off and just slams into the pavement. The stone hard floor at the very bottom scatters across, and you can hear the ringing throughout the hallways of the echoing of the hand cannon. That's going to end his turn, and you can see Pack sort of turn around, short sword in his hand, and he's like, "What's your problem?" Angmir's still focused, and Angmir's like, "Sorry, I just..." And he smacks the gauntlet. He's like, "You didn't plan it right." That'll be his turn. She is dead. Then we come to this Yonti right here, who is going to wail into Pat. She's going to make 2 scimitar attacks against him. Okay. So, pop, 2 attack. Pop, 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 ram. Okay, that is a 15, that hit. And then second attack. That is a... Oh, hey, look, I got a cat on the stream now. Hey, you really like coming up here, don't you? Okay, so...
I don't know how to... I'm sorry.
Trouble, no. Trouble, no. Oh, Trouble, go. I believe in you. You can go anywhere. Alrighty, cool. Alrighty. So the second one is a miss, but that is 8 points of damage there. So here, let me go ahead and edit his token. Resources. HP. There we go. Nice. Nice. That actually makes my life easier here. And then we're gonna minus that. And then there we go. Alrighty. So actually, if I do this, sorry, this is just a thing that I want to see. If I do everyone, do you see a health total, or do you see a or do you just see the bar?
I just see the bar.
Okay, if you click on it. Okay, all right. That's actually interesting. I'm actually going to turn that on for Angmir too. So that way you can just kind of like get a visible read over how they're doing. I think that's really cool. HP. Alrighty, sorry. Alrighty, so Pack is there, and then we come to this person over here who is actually behind this door. She's going to open it, and as she opens the door, she kind of has to bust through it because her sort of sister dead body was there, so she has to push past the dead body that gets pushed this direction, and she emerges out, and she's also going to take 2 attacks against Pack there. Okay. So we got attack 1, and then attack 2. Let's see. Oh, got both those hit. All right, that is 10 points of damage. -5 and -5. Oh man, you can see Pat is getting like laid into right now, as he's just trying his best to block, but is unable to successfully block those ones. Okay, with that, we come back up to the top of the turn order with Poe. Poe, what are you doing?
All right. Let me make sure I got this. So, let me think for a second. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is with my, oh shoot, I know why you did. I just now put this together. Okay, so with my one hand, I'm seeing this situation, Pack is down, but this new one came out by the door, so Poe is going to, after pulling out his sword that has the icy edges on it and how freaking awesome it is, he's going to come up one hand and he's going to take a swipe.
Okay. Alrighty, so how this is going to work is it's not going to be disadvantage, but because you're swinging with your hand, to any damage, you're not going to add your strength modifier.
Okay, so one question. Because a longsword's versatile, does that still affect that?
Yes, because
okay.
Versatile just means when you wield it with both hands, you get extra damage. So that means you can only use it one-handed, and you won't add your +3 to the damage. It'll only be whatever you roll in the die.
Okay. So let me remember.
Okay, so you still get the cold damage. So that would just be 11 minus 3. So that would be 8. So that's 8 plus 4, which is 12. Okay, very cool. That is a good amount of damage.
Does that hit?
Oh, shoot. Dang it. I was definitely... there's too many numbers. A 9 does not hit, sadly enough. Now, was that adding your... Okay, that was still adding your strength and proficiency. That's good. Okay, cool. Alright, so you go to bring the sword down, but you're just not able to make contact as she throws up her scimitar and kicks it out of the way, and you can see there is this... You've never seen this woman before in your life, but there is this note of recognition on her face, and there is nothing but hate and spite in her face for you. So, with that,
dang it,
we come to Pack, who is not doing too good, but he's going to do his best. Now that there's an ally within 5 feet, he does get his sneak attack on his short sword. So, let's go ahead and attack roll 1. An 8, that's a miss. Damn, man. Another attack roll for him. That's a 6. Oh, Pack, man. Alrighty, yeah, he's not doing it. DC's not even high. So he tries to take 2 short sword swipes. She is somehow able to hang in it. She's able to block those attacks. And with that, we come to Angmir. And Angmir here is going to move around here, try and get a better vantage point. And he is going to, once again, he's going to go ahead and take another hand cannon shot. And see if he can maybe get a little bit better of a attack here. Okay, so let's see what we got going here. Gotcha. There we go. There we go. Sorry, I was just checking something out here to make sure that it was right. Okay, here we go. Oh. And sometimes this does some weird stuff sometimes. Okay, there we go. Right description, and there we go. Okay. So he is going to take that hand cannon shot at her. Normal roll. One right in front of you. There we go. Okay, that is 8 points of damage total. One of that being fire damage. So, her and subtract that from her. Alrighty, very cool. Okay, so that's some damage done to her. So he fires off. The hand cannon flares in the rear, but it does make impact and do some damage. And then she's dead. Don't worry about her, so we'll go ahead and make her. And then we'll come to this one right here. This one that's right in front of Pack, she's just going to go ahead and make another 2 attack rolls against him. 1, 2. And that is, there we go. Okay, and both of those are going to miss. His AC is, his AC is 15. So both of those miss. As she takes 2 scimitar swipes, but he's now able to block with a short sword, deflecting the attack from her, who's right in front of you. These 2 attacks are coming right at Poe, no doubt about it. Scimitar and scimitar. Okay, so that is a 19 and a 14. I think the 19 is the only one that hits, right?
Yes.
Okay. So that is only 2
Definitely.
points of slashing damage there, as she's just barely able to cut into you, but luckily your sword is able to block most of the brunt of the damage, but there's a small cut that ends up landing on part of your forearm. So, then we come back up to you, Poe.
Alright. So, let me think about this. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to try and do what I did last time. On this one. Gosh.
God, man.
What the? These rolls are terrible. I gotta update my dice. It's the dice I'm using.
You gotta. Yeah, this is the best part about the 3D dice is you can change the dice.
I'm gonna change it right now.
Put them in jail.
That is so annoying.
Okay, an 8. Yeah, that does not hit. Any bonus action or movement, or you just plant your feet?
I have to plant my feet.
Okay, so then we come to Pack, and Pack is gonna still make 2 swings at the one right in front of you. So let's see. Short sword. So 2 attacks. Come on, Pack. Oh, okay, that's 1 hit and 3 points of piercing damage. Oh gosh, wow. Righty. We're doing great, ladies and gents. We are hanging in there. So, let's see. Oh, I'm not exactly sure what's happening there. He does not get 3 attacks, as much as I'm sure Levin and myself wish that he did. Okay, there we go. There we go. Alright. So then with that, it comes to Angmir's turn again. And this time he is going to... Let's see. Alright, he's gonna... The hand cannon seems not to be working out, so he's going to run up in the thick of it in the hallway, and he is going to take 2 short sword swipes, pulling out this, like, very jagged, gnarly-looking blade, and he's gonna try and cut into the lady who was just slashing at you.
Okay.
Okay. So 2 attacks. I think those light weapons. That's a 22 and a 9. The 9... All right, so the 22 does hit. That's 7. Okay, she is looking pretty rough right now, but she's still hanging in there. She's dead. It comes to her, who's right in front of Mal. Oh, God. She's going to swing at Pack again. Swing at Pack. There's 1. It's a 19 to hit. And then the second one is a 9. The 9 misses. The 19 does hit. 6 points of slashing damage to him. Holy, Pack is ain't looking too hot, my dude.
Yeah.
Okay, so then that ends her turn. Then we come to she who's right in front of you. She's gonna take, same as before, 2 of those strikes at you, because she's not a fan of you, Poe. Ooh, yikes. Okay, so that is a 21 and a, well, the 12 misses, so you take 7 points of damage.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. So, then we end her turn, and we actually come back up to you.
Alright. I was just looking to see really quick, because I need to help Pack ASAP. Okay. This is what I want to do.
Okay.
Heal wounds. Alright. I'm just going to do it. I'm going to use lay on hands on Pack. Can I reach him from here?
Oh yeah, you can. You're within 5 feet.
Okay. Okay, definitely. Alright, so the thing is, I don't think that's going to work. No. Alright, so as an action, you can touch a creature and draw power from the pool to restore a number of hit points to that creature up to the maximum amount remaining in your pool. I want to do the maximum. I think that's 15.
15, yeah, you're gonna do 15. Okay, cool. Alrighty.
And then, let me check one thing real quick. That's it.
Okay, so. Okay, alrighty, cool. So he's looking pretty good now. Pretty good. He was at 2, now he's at 17.
Great.
Great. Alrighty, cool. Alrighty, anything else, Poe, or is that it?
That's it. I want to stay here.
So, as you remove from casting the spell, Pack sort of looks to you, refilled breath in his lungs, and he says, "Oh, thank you." And he's going to take 2 slices, once again, at the one standing right next to you, and hopefully this time he will have a little bit of a better time. So, 2 strikes, and that is, that is a natural 20 and an 18. Hell yeah, Pack. Okay, so that is 16 plus 9. 9 plus 16 is probably the better way to do it. That is 25 points of damage. Hell yeah, this lady, she is done skis.
Hell yeah.
With that, she is over there, and he is, wait a second, that's the wrong dead. She is dead. Look at that. There we go. Alrighty, so we're going to go ahead and hide her off the map. She's no longer there anymore. And that only leaves us with 1. So Angmir is going to, it's going to be his turn, and he's going to, let's see here. He's going to back up a little bit and come back towards you, Poe. And he's going to rest his arm on your back. He's going to cast Guidance on you.
Cool.
Yeah, you just get a D4 on your next ability score, attack, anything like that. Okay.
Heck yeah.
Okay. So that's the end of his turn, and then she's dead. It's her turn. She's gonna come around, stepping over her sister's dead body, and it's gonna take those 2 strikes at you, Poe. Yeah. She realizes she's got bigger fish to fry. So there's one attack and two. That is an 11 and a 14. Both those miss. Am I right?
Yes, both
Okay.
will miss.
That is the end of her turn, and as we come up to the top of the turn order, Poe, you can hear right from behind you, right here, you can hear something slamming on that door, and it seems like it is a lot of something. Like, it's not like somebody knocking on the door, but it seems like a writhing noise of something that's just like just slamming into the side of the door. It seems that the door is beginning to bulge and break, and there might be something there next round. Okay, so with that, it is your turn, though.
All right. Well, while I'm here, I'm going to try and take a whack.
All right.
Let me think for a second, because I think I may actually want to do. So the +4 that I got, if I can add that to my attack roll, to my roll to attack, I have to do that before, right?
Let me.
Or can I not use that for this?
The guidance, yeah, you could use it for an attack. Let me just look up the spell here. Guidance. Just here, can I drop my macro bar? No, I can't. Okay. Oh, wait a second, I actually know how to do this here. Just gotta pull up the thing here. There we go. There we go, there we go, there we go. Alright, guidance, drop that in the chat. Roll. So, pretty much, I'll let you roll the, you can roll the die before or after making the ability check, yeah. So yeah.
So I can roll to attack, then add it?
Yeah, then you can see, and you can roll the d4 yourself to see if it's better than 2. But yeah, you can see if you attack, or you can see what the number is when you attack.
Okay.
Okay, alrighty. That is... 19 does hit. That is 14 points of damage.
-3.
Okay, 11 points damage. Gotcha. That is right. So minus that, and she is not looking good. Not looking good at all. Okay, anything else, Poe?
No, that's it, because I'm right next to her, so I want to stay here.
Okay, then we come to the cat. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. You will get the sneak attack if these attacks hit. So let's go pop. Pop. That is a 17 and a 15 damage on both. That is 20 points of damage. Damn that. But then he also does get the sneak attack, so that is an extra 1d6. 25 points of damage. That is still not enough, though. She thick, though. Already. Okay.
God.
With hit points. A lot of thick skin to cut through. Alright. There she is, hanging in there. Angmir is... Ooh. Alrighty, Evan, roll a d100 for me. 50-50, low half, Angmir opens the door. High half, Angmir resists his urge. Okay, high half.
Wait.
Angmir backs up towards the door, and he goes to reach for the handle, and there's a thud, and he kind of steps back, and he's going to attempt to take a shot at the woman there. So, hand cannon, normal roll. One shot. That is 5 points of damage. A 21 will hit, and with that, Poe, she is done.
Nice.
So, body falls to the ground. And you seem to have emerged victorious, at least for the current moment. That door is still pounding.
Okay, I'm going to yell for everyone to come to me. I'm going to go in here.
Okay, alrighty. So Angmir follows you. Pack does as well. And you shut the door behind you. Okay. Alrighty. So we're going to end combat for now. Yep. So as you are in there, you wait and wait and wait and hope that whatever was there doesn't find you. So, as you're standing in front of the door, bracing it just in case, I would like all three of you, Agneer not included, to make stealth checks. With advantage.
Okay. Is there a stealth check on the side?
I don't think so.
No. Okay, 1 sec, I got it. Stealth. You said with advantage, I'm a subtle.
13, 16, and... Okay. Alrighty. So, as you are bracing the door, you see that there is a piece of wood on the ground, and you sort of scoop it up and brace it up against the door, but it makes this cling noise. And as you do, you can hear that on your door, there is this hissing noise of these tendrils, these mounds just slamming into the door over and over and over again. You're bracing it as much as you can. Go ahead and make a strength check. So you can...
Man. I don't know if I want to do this.
Nope.
No, I'm not. There's no way around it. I'm just gonna...
Okay. So with that, we're going to have a strength check from you, and then... that's pretty good, though. So this one is going to be with ability check and advantage. And that is a 5. Okay, so you're able to brace the door. And you're able to keep your back on it. It's unable to break down the door. And let me see something here real quick. Okay. So with that, not able to get in, it seems to lose interest. And you can hear it fiddling outside with something else. There's the sound of metal clanking, and you hear a door open. And
sigh of relief.
you hear it no longer.
That was close. Are
Yeah,
you guys
it was.
okay?
And you can see Pack sort of grabbing at his arm. Amir looks fine, but Pack is like, "Oh, I'm fine. I'm okay, don't worry about it."
All right. I'm gonna take a quick look around this place we're in. Like quick gander.
Yeah, okay, make an investigation check for me. Okay. 14, you can tell that this is some type of embalming area, where there are different tools and supplies that would be used for almost creating like mummies or preserving dead bodies long past their expiration.
Okay. So, that being said, I'm just gonna be like, okay, I'm gonna take a peek out here. I'm gonna open the door.
Okay. You open the door. You can see that inside the room that you did not open, there is just stuff that is ruined, thrown to the ground, smashed and broken, and that must have been the area where that thing, whatever it was, went. You can also see straight above you, right north, that door that it broke through is open.
All right. I'm gonna just point to them and tell them, like, this door's open. So, be careful. I'm gonna walk up here and take a look.
Okay. So the two of them follow after. And you can see a cavern, and you can see the mud in here. Looks like it has, like, just different, like, cracks, as if something was stuck in here, trapped in here. Just hundreds of different writhing ends, like, coming up over each other and then knotting together, like some type of snake or serpent, or a lot of them. But there's also a foul odor, something expired, decayed to it.
Okay. There's nothing more in here, yeah? think this is...
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Have you guys seen anything like this?
No. The closest thing we've ever seen to any of this. And he looks down to Angmir, and Angmir says, "Nothing. We've not seen anything like this. Nothing has ever come close. I've seen garden snakes before, but this... No. This is juju. This is not good enough. I think we should find out what's wrong. I don't know why I'm saying that.
Well, I'm going to kind of nod and turn, and I'm going to start stealthing my way. I'm going to check this door.
As you are there, you see a corridor that eventually wraps around a corner.
Hold on. There we go.
Make your way up to the door, and you try and open it, and you can hear that it's locked.
You can.
So, Pax says, "Let me through. I can. If it's locked, I can get it."
Okay.
And Nick here is going to make a thieves' tools check. Sorry, I am just make sure this is all in here right. I'm just trying to make sure that the resource is on duration, range. So it should just be 1d20 plus. Okay. Alrighty, so hopefully that'll work there. Use tools. Roll. So it's 1d20 plus 8. 10. That's fine. So plus 8 here. There we go. Oh, not 2d20. That'd be odd. There we go.
No.
So he just kind of fiddles with it, and he's like, "No, sorry. Can't get it."
All right. Well, let's try another way. I'm going to run back this way. And this time I'm going to go a little bit smaller. I know I've been kind of pushing my luck with. And I'm going to kind of eye this door really quick.
Make a perception check for me. I mean, you don't hear anything. You think that there might be some echoes coming from further down that corridor, but as of right now, you don't really hear anything directly there.
All right. I'm going to check this out. I'm moving kind of slow. Do my best to check.
You can see as you get right about there, there's just a whole bunch of stone and pillars that have collapsed in on themselves and are unable to allow you to make passage.
Well, perhaps it's time to see what it went into that room.
Was there a way up past the up?
I think you had cut out for just
sorry.
a second. I
I
think
said,
it's Harry.
wasn't there a way up there near the muck?
Was there? All right, yeah, let's go. It's so weird how you can actually
Wait, weird how what?
like. So there's a way up right here,
Yeah, there
or
it is.
in here. Yeah.
So this was my mistake. I forgot that I put you can't see anything here.
Yeah.
But Poe, I'd like you to make an investigation check for me real quick.
Okay.
So we're gonna say that this maybe happened a little bit earlier, and you noticed this, but you wanted to go explore the rest of it because I forgot that I put this here. So as you are sort of feeling around the area, feeling for different things popping out of the stone or areas where there are cracks or anything that would allow you to, that there might be some way out of here, as there's just currently this flat, solid stone area in this small cavern. I mean, this cavern has to lead somewhere, right? And you find one stone that's a different color, and you jam it into the rock. With that, there's a crunching of stone as the door in front of you opens.
Oh yeah. This is where I think we want to go.
As you can see that there are different braziers in here that are currently lit and blazing. And there are different, like, solid iron muskets that are almost barred shut.
I'm gonna take a look at this one.
Make another investigation check for me.
Heck yes!
Oh, God, okay. Alrighty. So, you do see that there's not very much give or take on this lid, but you do find on each end of this sarcophagus right here that there is a small little mechanism that seems that if you rotate both ends at the same time, like if you have two different people operate them, it might cause the sarcophagus to open.
Okay. I'm gonna point to one of those and kind of nod at Pack, and I'm go to this one on this end and see if we can.
Alrighty. So you and Pack both together. You investigate, and with a couple of clicks, both together, the sarcophagus does hiss open as if air was escaping that had been trapped in there for who knows how many years. This as dust begins to settle out all around the area, and almost as if you were unlocking something in the area, you can just see permeate all around you is now this thin fog that seems to rest on the very bottom of the ground, sometimes rising up a little bit more and wisping around your ankles and feet. But it does hang, and then as it opens, you can see a person in here, obviously dead. Their arms crossed over their chest, but wielded in their hands is a sword. You can see near their waist and legs is a shield. You can see that they're wearing finely crafted armor, even though they've been in here for so long. It still is a very fine craft. And your head kind of cocks to the side because that armor that person is wearing looks very similar to the armor that you would style yours after in all of the books you would read about Anoa craftsmanship. And Pack doesn't notice it, but Angmir, he sort of looks over the edge of the coffin and looks up at you. And he just looks a little angry, and he just says, No, wait a minute. That armor that you're wearing are very, very similar in craft. Is there something you're not telling us? Are you the one who called us here? What is going on? I demand explanation. And Pack says, calm down. I'm sure it's fine.
Yeah, while he's going on and on about that, I'm gonna kind of in awe, look around as I'm starting to realize, this is a place of the Anoa, or at least a place with Anoa in it, and just kind of looking for symbols. And after taking a quick look at that, I'm just going to kind of, in a very mesmerized way, start walking over to this other one.
What you do, Pack will follow you over. Sorry, my thing here. So Pack follows you over, and he does the same. Helps you with the mechanism, and it clicks open, slides, and you can see this person, instead of having a sword and a shield, they are wielding two axes that are crossed over each one of their shoulders. And as you open it, Mimir sort of looks to you, confused, and he says, "Wait, you're Noah?"
I am.
Well, Sonny, I don't know who was horseshit, but the last Noah died in the fractured peninsula. We were both kids at the time. What, 30, 40 years ago? And Pat kind of looks down at Angrim and he says, no, it was maybe 20 years ago. And Angrim kind of looks up to you and says, see, you can't be older than what, 15, 16?
I don't know. I don't know, but I am Puasa Noah. My father is in Noah. I mean, unless you think I'm lying. But
I never said you were lying, boy.
But you weren't the first person to have said that.
And Pack.
Not exactly sure what that means.
Pack is looking very anxious right now, and he kind of walks over to Angrim, and he kind of places a hand on his shoulder, and he says, I think we should keep moving, Angrim. We should drop it. And Angrim kind of looks up at him, and he just, suppose you're right.
Okay. And are these, anything here?
Those ones, they are, wrapped in iron, bars, and welded, what looks to be almost welded closed. So these ones have the mechanisms, these four that you were just pointing to do not. However, I will also say, with the 19 in investigation, you are able to see a very similar mechanism on this hole right here to what was by this door.
Okay. Then I would definitely trail on to that and mess with that mechanism.
So it's just one stone slightly out of place. You punch it into place, and you see a door open right here.
All right. So, per Pack's suggestion, we keep on walking. And I do want to say, I did leave the Anoa as they were, as tempting as it was to take their armor, just out of respect.
Okay, sounds good.
All right. This is more of the slithery.
So, and now that you've gotten a feel for it, you're able to sort of, now that you've gotten 2 in a row, you kind of feel along the sides. You find another stone, punch it into place. The door opens. For a moment, coming into this this dark room, you almost gasp and draw your sword, seeing some type of evil statue of something. You can see that although it's made of stone primarily, there are bits and pieces of ornamental items on it. Whether it be the pelt of what it once was that is sort of affixed to the head, or the sword that it actually wielded. Almost like a combination of stone carving and taxidermy combined. You're not exactly sure what this thing is, about 10 feet wide and 12 feet tall, hunched over, sword in its hand, curled horns, a tuft of fur going down the back of its head and eventually down to its spine with leathery wings like a bat. But you're very glad that it is not there and not alive.
All right. I see this door here. And I will... Uh-oh. This looks like a boss room. Oh.
So as you open it, you can see that there are 2 individuals who are standing with their hands gestured up this coffin. And you can see that they don't pay any attention to you. They don't acknowledge that you're here. They just continue to stand there.
Is there anything else I can notice about the center or the room around here?
It is a steel sarcophagus with iron chains over the top of it that seem to meld into the ground. But you swear every once in a while you see it move.
What?
The chest. You see it move. And those 2 right there, they don't acknowledge you at all as you get closer and closer.
I'm gonna ask Pack and Ang, do you even know what these things are?
Pack, he says, no, I have no idea. Angmir, he kind of goes over towards the railing, and you see him just kind of get on one knee and put his gauntlet on the railing and just... Well, I want to investigate it. Easy. Okay. I got your luck, kid. And Pack, he follows you down and says, well, not letting them go alone.
Yeah, I'm gonna take it super slow. I'm gonna kind of stand right here so I can get a look at both of them in the chest. By the way, this is terrifying. Okay.
If you can hear also, every once in a while you can hear that rattling of chains.
Yes.
Something of steel. And you get close to investigate. Go ahead and make an investigation check.
Jeez.
look down, and there's no writing on here at all. It is completely solid steel, and there's no locks or anything. There's no mechanism that would allow this, whatever's in here, to be freed. Place your hand on the chest to see if you, on the coffin, to see if you can feel anything. And at that moment, the two standing there, their heads twist and turn to look at you, and you can see hate in their eyes for you, Poe. Nothing but anger. And they slowly begin to move towards you, and with that, I would like you roll initiative. Alrighty. Ooh,
That is such a good initiative roll. Wow.
Sure, you're super happy about it.
Oh, this is going to go great.
Okay. Alrighty.
Crushing Wave. Such a cool name. Just for the theme of everything. Love it.
Okay, alright, let's roll initiative for everybody else. Oh, Angmar coming in with high initiative. And
Okay.
You're not at the bottom. You're not at the bottom. So that's,
Dang.
there are worse things. Okay. So, with that, Poe here, we'll start with Angmar. As soon as they start moving towards you, Angmar's like, up. And he's gonna take a hand cannon shot. Oh shit. Natural one on the hand cannon. So in that moment, you can see him, and it explodes on, and Angmar takes that full damage. So 7 points of piercing and 4 points of fire damage. As he's kind of blown back and stunned in that moment, he's just, and you see him kind of get back up, and you can see his nose bleeding profusely, and that's his turn.
Oh my gosh.
We come to Pack. Pack is going to kind of, here we go, and he's going to run towards the one who is right next to him, and he's going to make those 2 attacks at him. Let's see here. So we got 2 short sword attacks. That's a 15 and a 21. Those both hit.
Nice.
8 plus 6. Okay, you see him cut into him, and the priest just sort of just takes it and exhales, not even showing pain, just that something had been impacted upon him, just the smallest amount of movement that it can. So then it comes to their turn. And you can see him, he looks towards Pack, and you can see him just holding no weapons, but out of nowhere just collecting the moisture in the air, and a dagger of ice conjures there, and he's supposed to stab it into Pack's chest. Well, good night. Normal. Spell. And so anything in that radius takes damage. Oh, that hits. Oh, that is not good. So he does take 7 points of cold damage, which is halved. But then Pack takes 9 points of piercing damage and then 7 points of cold damage. Ooh, Pack is at 1 HP. So the ice knife slams down into him, and you can see this cold energy around him. As you can see that there is a gaping wound in Pack's chest as the ice knife exploded there, and there's just shrapnels of ice like flung to his jaw and on his arm, and he says, it's fine. He doesn't look like it. But Poe, it's your turn.
Okay. Well, if I moved where I'm at now, this one would have an opportunity.
Yep.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to... Do I still have that D4 or +4?
You hadn't used it yet, so yeah, you would.
Okay. Well, I'm going to try and make a attack with my sword on this guy right here.
Okay.
And then if that hits, then I'll tell you what I'll do next.
is a hit. Nice.
Okay. So, now with that, Poe basically sees Pack going down, sees Angmir going down, and it's going crazy. So he's going to take his sword out, he's going to attack this priest, but when he does it, it's this huge, glorious roar, and there's like maybe even a little bit of like white flurries going around, but there's it's pretty glorious, which is key, because when he goes to take the swipe and he actually deals damage to this priest, he is going to use, not knowingly, this just happens.
Okay, it just
he doesn't
happens.
know
All
he
right,
can do
hell
this.
yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't know that he can do it. So, anyways, I'm going to use my Channel Divinity, Inspiring Smite, which immediately after you deal damage to Smite feat, Channel Divinity as a bonus action, attribute temporary hit points to creatures, which can include you. The total number of temporary hit points equals 2d8 plus your level in this class.
Okay, so roll your...
Yeah.
What we'll do is you do need to Divine Smite, so mark off a spell slot for that. But...
Oh, do I?
Yeah, it says immediately after you deal damage to a creature. with
Oh
your
my
Divine
gosh!
Smite. That's okay.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that!
No, that's okay. So you do need to mark off another spell slot for it. But what we'll is... So roll 2d8 to heal those two. 2d8 plus 3 to heal those two. And you can divide that up however you want. Angmir's at 1 and... Or no, Angmir's at 10, is at 1. And then you're going to roll 3d8 to add to the damage because the Crushing Wave Priest is considered undead. Okay, so 11, how do you want to split that up between the two?
Give it all to Pack.
All the power? Okay, so Pack will be at 12 then. Okay, so then...
And then, what did you say for the Divine Smite?
So roll 3d8 to deal extra damage to the Crushing Wave Priest because he is considered undead. Points of damage. Hell yeah, man. Okay.
Holy shit.
Alrighty. So he's going to go ahead and take that full 14 points of damage there. Alright, so he is there. So he is affected by that as you, like, wail into him. And you can see, as you channel that glory, slam the sword into him. Pack, it's rejuvenated. You can see the chains on the sarcophagus. They snap open. You can see that there is this energy that exits from the sarcophagus. This swirling teal blue light, very similar to what you had seen before. This almost like sunburst of energy just begins to radiate from the area, and you can feel that radiation carry up to you, and you can feel that glory and that inspiration inside of you begin to emblazon you, and you can hear that in this area there is a door that opens, and there is a voice that you can hear, Poe, that says, "Run." And you can hear that as soon as you do that, that whatever those writhing masses were that were all the way in the other area, you can see them begin to move from that door and begin to move. And you see, you were just cascaded in this light, and Pack is looking over to you as he's like trying to block that creature, the Crushing Wave Priest. And he's looking at you as you are doused in this light, and he says, "Oh, what are you doing?" And he sort of looks. You can see he's also doused in the light, inflicting the attacks as the Crushing Wave Priest conjures another dagger. Puck is like blocking with the short sword. He's and he's able to block. But you can see Angmir is just covered, like these snakes are beginning to like hover on top of him and like swarm him.
No.
And you can see Pack sort of disengage as the Crushing Wave Priest tries to cut him with the dagger. Pack is able to disengage, and he begins to move towards her in an effort to get the snakes cutting into them. You are filled with this glorious energy, magic that is calling you, beckoning you through this doorway.
So, I need to run, but I need to help them. Alright. I do realize that... Wait. Okay, 1 sec, I'm sorry.
You're good,
There's
you're good.
athletics. Shoot, that's so that's right. Alright, I'm not running just yet. I'm going to try to get over to my friends here. They saved my life. I need to help save theirs before running. Okay, it's not me. So, okay. Can I make that?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. I'm here. And if it's my turn here, I do want to thing to try and help Angmir out of here.
Yeah, sure. Especially after being doused in that glorious light, you feel like you do have an opportunity where you could do something.
I'm doused in glorious light. Feel like I'm going to do something. I am motivated. I'm going to take a huge on this. Overabundance of I don't care if I'm missing an arm. We're saving friends here.
Yeah, okay. So I would also like you to roll an additional 5d8.
Got it. What? Okay. Ooh.
As you're charged with this glorious light from the coffin of your ancestors, you charge up with the energy and you slam down your sword. Okay, so you can see as you slam down towards Angmir as all of these snakes, and you can see that it's these writhing masses as their like entrails are falling out of them. The skin is crunchy and slimy. You can see them writhing all around him, trying to grab him, but you burst into them, slamming into the snakes, and you were able to send almost all of them flying away from the pure force, the magic behind your damage, almost like your own tsunami, slamming into them, dousing them in water, and sending the snakes flying off in a different direction, all the way over towards the end of the stairs. And you can see Pack sort of jump over the railing and grab Angmir, and the two of them, seeing this, they begin to run the opposite direction towards the cave. But Poe,
Awesome.
You feel yourself pulled this way.
Alright. I'm gonna tell them, run and get out of here. There's still something here that I need to do.
Angmir sort of looks at him and he says, Poe!
Trust me, I'll see you outside. Just get to safety.
Takes off, you can see Angmir take off his arm and just throw it at you. And he says, if we don't see you, maybe that'll help!
Hell yeah!
You catch his arm, and grabs it to you, and you're quickly able, you can see that's just like a leather strap affixed around the arm, so you're able to put it on and cling it around, and with the flick, you can see that there are these, like, almost like claws, like these three little metal, like, grippers that come out, that will allow you to, not as much movement, but you to have a little bit more movement. You're dominant here now. But you were...
Heck, yes.
You did feel compelled to go the opposite direction. So what are you doing? I'll say you have 30 more feet of movement. What are you doing?
I'm going that way. Okay, so I'm gonna go, that's 15. Okay, right here. And if I'm passing this priest, I'm assuming it's gonna want to take swings at me. I guess this is the end of my turn at this point, or can I get it?
No, that would be the end of your turn, because you kind of had
Got
this
it.
supercharged
That's fine.
moment. Light starting to fade, It is the other one's turn, though. So he is going to... no, he's going to come after you. He's going to throw an ice knife at you now. In a hopes to hit you. So that will also hit the other priest there. That's a 21 to hit. So he'll take 1 point of cold and 8 points of so you take 1 point of piercing damage and 8 points of cold damage.
8 points of piercing, 8 points of cold. That's what you said?
No, 1 point of piercing, 8 points of cold.
Okay. Thank God.
Okay. So with that, it is Angmir and Pack's turn, and the two of them are just going to keep running. And running and running and running and running, getting the hell out of here. So, they get out, they run, using full dash. You no longer see them, you can just hear them shouting after each other. So, Ice Knife's explosion is done. Then it comes to the Crushing Wave Priest, who is right in front of you. And he is going to... Here we go. Oh, that's right. Okay. So he is going to... he's just going to go ahead and cast Magic Missile at you. So, normal... it's not an attack. So, oh wow, of course it's not going to do the thing. Okay. The web myself. Okay, so 3 darts, so there's 2 more darts, so 2d4 plus 2, roll. So you take 10 points of force damage.
Oh no. Okay. I'm not looking good.
Okay, but that is the end of his turn, and Poe, it's your turn.
Okay, I need to figure... This is really important. I need to... Anyone watching? I'm sorry. This
That's okay.
I even looked at this class. Okay, hold on. This is like so important because this is like... Okay. See Sacred Oath. Oh gosh. 1 second. Right now I'm trying to figure out how channel defense, and because it's really important. Because it's a little misleading. It says, your oath allows you to channel divinity and deal magic effects. When you use your channel divinity, you choose which option to use. You must then finish. So never mind. That answers it. Let's read it out loud. So I've already used it. I can't. Dang it. All right. I have to run. But I have 4 HP. Here, let me see if I have used all my first spell. My spell slots. I've used literally my entire lay on hand. Shape water. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, let's. So
I'm not. Just because you haven't played in a while, I will remind you of one thing that might be useful. Is even though you're not a rogue, you can choose to disengage as an action.
Okay, then yes, 100%. Do that.
I'm not trying to tell you what to do. I'm just letting you know.
Oh no, Joe. Okay. Right now, I need, especially because especially the forward, hard to see. Like I have to keep every time I want to reference something to remember the big category and the subcategory and whatever else I have to look at. So yeah. But anyways, I was trying to find the best way to run. So disengage, great. I forgot all about that.
Okay, cool. So then you're gonna disengage as an action.
Yes.
Okay. And then with that, you would probably be able to get to inside that area, I think, right?
25 feet right there, so...
So yeah, actually...
Yes.
Oh wow, you can actually get through both doors, I think, with 30 feet of movement.
Okay. Well, let's hope. Let me see. Because there's going to be 5. Okay, I'm just going to drag it. Okay, so 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30.
Okay, so as a free action, you can shut that door behind you. That's fine.
Heck yeah.
That is a free action after all. And then you can see in front of you as you pass that door, I will say that they are trying to run after you, but you do have a little bit of time as you shut the door behind you. So you get through, you can see the doorway in front of you, and you can see a statue of someone a lot like you. Someone who is an Anoa. You can see the very similar face tattoos that are glowing. Same as yours. As you look down at your skin, you can see where your veins typically are, almost like rivers on a stream, glowing all on you, same as this person in front of you. And you can see that the statue, you swear it begins to move almost. As the stone just crunches and cracks, the statue stands and moves off to the side, where you can see this almost ethereal blade setting behind it.
Well, I'm approaching. The statue moved aside. But when passing it, like Poe is. This whole experience is extremely confusing, exciting, traumatizing, like literally, physically traumatizing. And if it's coming down to this Poe is in a trance right now as he's walking to that.
Make your way through, and as you go to grab the sword, you can feel this rejuvenation, this magic wash over you as the statue turns to look at you and says, "Glory be with you, brother. There are others that..." And with that, the door breaks open, and you can see the stone statue draw on its sword and point it towards the crashing raid priests that are making their way, running in. But as you grab the sword and fully become one with it, you can see yourself begin to fade away, grow ethereal, until eventually the entire area around you grows misty and dark. You can hear wind whistling. You can hear snow crunching. You can hear a fire crackling. And you hear... Huh? No, you hear... Ingmir, no, you hear Blanca. You hear her yelling, "Cecily, wake up! Keothi, wake up!" You don't know who Keothi, but you hear Ashima, "Wake up! Everyone, wake up!" You hear her yelling for people to wake up. What do you do, Poe?
I'm there. I'm waking up. If I'm ethereal right now, I'm gonna tell her, like.
No, so you're in the middle of the forest. You can hear it maybe 20 feet off. Her yelling.
Okay, I'm so sorry. I was up on the. I'm connecting with them now. I am running to that voice. I'm sprinting toward.
Okay, so with that, as you begin to run and dash and dart, you eventually get to a small cliffside that maybe drops down about 15 feet. You can see in this wintry area, you can see that as you were standing there, you are fully healed. You have Mir's arm. Your arm has not grown back. That has not happened, but you have Mir's arm on yours, the small metal claw, the cloak pulled up that they gave you, and you can see Ashima look up at you as you pull your cloak down, draw your sword, and you can see maybe 20 feet away from them are these strange, undead-looking beast creatures that begin to stomp closer and closer towards them. There are 4 that are almost made entirely of ice, and then there's 1 in heavy plate armor that is stomping and crunching with every step it takes. And with that, that is where we're going to pick up on Thursday. Yeah.
Okay, first of all, I have a lot to say about that. But I want to preface, when I said I was going to be rusty, I thought, I'm not going to be. Like, I know. I was so damn rusty. There were moments where I'm like, I don't. But one big thing I want to say, I am so glad Poe lost his arm. Because that is the most badass thing I've ever seen in my life. Because the wood in the crystal is like warforged in your world, isn't it?
Ah, that was a solid pickup right there. It may or may not.
Oh, dude, I was thinking this entire time. I was just like, that is so cool. That's so cool. And I even thought when I lost my arm, and I was, if this happens, and I'm just like, I've been like for like the last hour, I've been like geeking out at the idea of it so bad. Oh my gosh, dude, it is like, I love it.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm very happy with how the one shot turned out. It went a little longer than I thought it would. We're at 3 hours, so we're at like a normal session time. But it just goes to show like how easy a one-on-one shot can be. Especially, you keep saying that you're rusty, but like I could not tell. Aside from like mechanics things, you as a player, you're still tip top. You're still very good.
I appreciate that.
And shit, there's one more thing that you received. So let me go ahead. Oh, did it not? Okay, there we go. Spells. Aha. Okay. So I need to make an item for it, but I'm gonna go ahead and drop it onto your character or I need to make a little image for it. I'm going to drop it onto your character sheet because Poe now has an ability from that experience and kind of from his lost downtime, but from that experience called Glory. So pretty much Poe, there you go. It's a first level spell.
Glory be with you.
Yeah.
Glory be with you.
Oh
my gosh, it's so awesome. I didn't have enough time to say thank you and get to know this statue that same markings as me. And... so awesome. My gosh.
Pretty much how it works is anytime you do something heroic, you gain 1 point of glory, and then that point of glory can be used similar to a point of luck. You can re-roll somebody else's stat, or re-roll somebody else's roll, or you can re-roll any of your own. So... because, and this was something I was not expecting you to do, but it only makes sense, because you went back to that and you saved those two, you now start with 1 point of glory, because that was hella heroic.
Awesome. I think Colossus would have done it any other way. Like, genuinely, I was like, even if Evan wanted leave the drug smugglers, but I knew they were more than. They were great. They're probably some of my favorite characters. I mean...
oh, God. I am a fan. So here, real quick.
Especially them as a pair. They were great.
They are, yeah. I'm very much a fan of them. So it does take one... let's see. It's one special. And then limited uses. I'm going to put this 1 out of 1 right now. You can have more... more than that. Let's see. Okay, cool. Alright, so there you go. That should be. Okay, so now what we can do is I'm going to, real quick, send a message in the Discord in case there are any Salamander Coast people who aren't in that chat. Oh, wait a second. Bianca won't, though. Okay, so Felicity's here. I know she's the one who wanted to see. So, Evan, are you ready to hear what you're... I'm letting Evan know so you don't get overwhelmed with information when the party tells you, okay?
Okay. So, 1 second, though. One quick question. It's an interface problem. Because I want to be fresh on this. Where can I look at the glory item?
Okay, it's in your spell book.
Okay. So
yeah.
I'm pretty sure you even said that, but like I was everywhere. Oh, okay, so for anyone who hasn't used
sorry, Poe, or Evan, you kind of cut it a little bit.
Okay, I think I'm good now.
Okay.
There it is. Okay, now I'm ready. I just wanted to be able to know where to find that.
Okay. Alrighty. Cool. So, here's what's happening. So the party, they finish their downtime. They find Poe's letter. They're all very sad, but they determine that Poe would not have left unless it was necessary. So they say, all right, that's fine. We'll just hope that he's okay and he'll come back when he can. So what they end up finding out is, well, not finding out, you already knew this, how they had the tourney at the end of the 4 weeks.
Right.
If they won the tourney, they could get their freedom. They win the tourney. They meet some more people from the Fractured Peninsula, actually. And they become pretty good friends with them after beating them in combat, because they're really honorable people. They get their freedom. Rose is extra nice to them. They meet another one of the Fishers, Ordith Fisher, who is an older brother who apparently has been, or younger brother who's been living in the Fractured Peninsula.
Okay.
And they meet those two, and Rose is so nice to them and so happy for them, and even Brennan's like, well, business is business. I guess I don't really care that much. And everything just seems to be working out. They get their contract revoked. They get paid for their victory and for the jobs they've done. And they decide, well, let's leave. There's no reason for us to stay in Summer's Rest. Let's go. We have stuff that we'd like to do in maybe Belka or even go to the Western Salamander. I think that'd be really fun. And everybody says, okay. So they buy a horse, a couple of horses, buy a cart, buy all the supplies they need. And in this journey, they have one NPC companion who's coming with them, a Goliath woman by the name of Keothi. Keothi on a Colossi. So, Goliath are a little different in my world as of a choice that I made while making Keothi, because there are no active Goliaths in the campaign, is that most of them are rather peaceful creatures. They still live in the mountains, but they have this really extensive love of craftsmanship and knowledge and history. And they're very peaceful creatures for the most part. So Keothi is adventuring with them and just wants to be an adventurer herself. She wants to discover things. And so they travel with Keothi. So there's 5 people. Keothi's a cleric of peace, and things are going pretty good. They travel to that same temple that you stopped at. It's snowy now. It's winter time. They're doing fine, They stop there. They don't get some of the stew, because they have better food in the cart. And then they continue on the journey. The roads are safe and peaceful. The guards are well patrolled. They do have to pay tolls every, couple of days. But that's a small price to pay for having a well-defended, well-kept road. They get to this place called the Old Spire Outpost. Old Spire Outpost is pretty nice, There's areas set up specifically for people to camp with carts. There's large bonfires placed everywhere. The flames are roaring, keeping everybody warm. They meet a cute little halfling and dwarf family and this bard named Chine. And Chine's really cool. He's like a musician, and he tells them about this place that apparently in the dead of winter, it's summer for one day. And it's super cool. And the party wants to go investigate because it sounds really cool. And then Desmond, reunites with somebody from his backstory he has no memory of. A woman named Anna, who apparently knew him when she was 10, and she's now 25, so that was almost 15 years ago, and Desmond has no memory of it. He didn't share that with the party, but this is stuff they all know. Then they decide to go in the woods because Keothi points out how there's a tower here that looks really similar to one that they had before, like that is of her people's craftsmanship, but her people don't leave the mountain. So it's odd that there's a tower there of that craftsmanship. So the party, they're intrigued, they go investigate, and they find a keep, and that keep is of the same craftsmanship. So they decide, for overhearing those bandits talk about something, that they want to go investigate to see if anybody in the Old Spire Outpost knows what's going on there. So Cecily, using Alt herself, goes into the spire and talks to the captain of the guard and just says, hey, I got lost. I found these bandits. They threatened me, but they didn't attack me, and I just wanted to make sure that you knew. And the captain of the guard was like, okay, why were you off the road in the first place, though? because we keep the roads very well maintained and safeguarded, so why were you even off the beaten path at all? And Cecily was like, oh, I was just running away from somebody. That's what I was doing. And the guard says, okay, fine. We'll just stay on the road from now on. We'll look into it. And Cecily says, okay. And then she leaves. And then her and Desmond meet up outside, and Cecily drops the disguised self in front of just in the open, you know? I mean, trying to be as stealthy as she can, but not really caring, because not thinking anybody would be paying attention. Then, as they're making their way to the campsite, there are 5 guards that stop them and say, you two need to come with us right now. The captain has some questions for you. And they say, okay. And they agree to it, and Bianca and Ashima and Kiyoshi see it. And they're like, that's not okay. So after seeing them walk away a little bit, Cecily and Desmond are taken away, and Bianca and Ashima, as they come out and are beginning to walk after them, there are more guards who come up to them and say, oh, hey, we were looking for you. You were around Desmond and Cecily, weren't you? And they go, yeah? And the guards are like, oh, could you come with us, please? We think that they've gone missing, and we want to ask you some questions to see if maybe you know where they are. After they just saw them get carried away. And so Ashima and Bianca are like, okay, yeah, sure. So Ashima and Bianca are taken to the Old Spire outpost, but Desmond and Cecily are taken outside of the city, outside of the Old Spire, to this ruined area where they meet this big guy with hot knives who's an interrogator. And they're like set down on chairs, not tied up, and there are 3 other guards there who are then trying to interrogate them. So this one guy is interrogating a 15-year-old girl and Desmond, a dragon. And it gets pretty scary at times, because the guy like takes a hot knife and presses it into Desmond's chest and is asking them if they know who the Brotherhood is, or who the leader of the Brotherhood is, or where is the Brotherhood's base? Where are they located? Like those same 3 questions over and over and over again. And while this is happening, Bianca and Ashima are in the tower with the captain of the guard there. And he's asking them questions like, do you know about this? Do you know where they went? Because we have reason to believe that they might be involved in some stuff that they don't exactly know what it is. And also in this room is that halfling and dwarf family in Chime, because they were talking to them as well. And so everybody's really confused, and eventually the captain of the guard lets the family and Shine go and talks to just Bianca and Ashima. And Bianca and Ashima are like, listen, we don't know anything about this. They're not part of any secret organization. We were just somewhere where we shouldn't have been, and we just didn't want to set off any alarms, and we're sorry. We didn't mean to. And the captain of the guard says, okay, but if I see you or anybody sees you off the road, we'll know that you're lying. And of course, they're not lying, they're telling the truth, but these people are very, very dead set on getting this Brotherhood, whoever they may be. So, some guards come in because the interrogator said, go get the buckets and the rats. And if you've ever seen that, yep. And the guards come in, and the captain tells them, you know what, go tell the interrogator, never mind, it's okay. Bring them back to camp. They're okay. And so Bianca and Ashima head back to camp, and they're like, what the fuck is happening? And while those guards are making their way back to Desmond and Cecily to say, hey, everything's okay, the captain is okay with it, Desmond doesn't know what to do. Desmond's freaking out. He doesn't want them to have rats crawl into their chest because they're rats. So Desmond says, okay, I'll tell you where the Brotherhood is located. I know where they are. We're new members. We're new members, but we know where it is. And I'm dying because I'm like, oh shit. Cameron is being an MVP player right now because he knows that this will fuck over the party, but it's really is genuinely what Desmond would do in this moment. It's not like he's metagaming. He's doing the opposite.
Right. He's playing Desmond truly.
Oh, but it gets better, Evan. It gets a lot better because after that, He tells them, and the interrogator doesn't exactly believe him, and the interrogator says, "Tell me again, word for word." And Cameron says it the same exact way a second time, and I'm like, okay. The guy goes, "You two, go get some cavalry, because we need to go make sure that this is right. And if it is, they're scot-free to go. But if it's not, then we get the rats in the buckets." And as those 2 guards are leaving to get the cavalry, there's one guard that comes back, or there's 2 more guards that come back and say, "Hey, they're free to go." And the interrogator's like, "No, they're not. They just told me where their base is. You need to go tell the captain of the guard now, because they're lying. If there's anybody that was consorting with them, they were lying too. We have a lead. We can get them." And so one of the guards runs back, and there are only 2 guards and the interrogator. And this is a 15-year-old girl and a wiry, scrawny dragonborn, so the interrogator's not worried. So he's like, I'm gonna go take a piss. You two watch him. So he heads off to around the corner in this ruin to relieve himself, and there are 2 guards there. And Cecily and Desmond decide to run. They throw a rock, they cast color spray, behind the guards, distracting them, running out, and the interrogator goes to run and grab them, but at that moment, Keothi is there, seeing this happen, casts full person on the guy. He stops dead in his track, so he's paralyzed, and says, "You all need to run towards me. We need to go now." And Cecily and Desmond are like, "Oh shit, fuck, what's happening?" They follow Keothi, they get back to camp, and Bianca and Ashima are like, "There you are, where were you?" And they're just like, "We need to get the fuck out of here. We need to go now." You can hear shouting from behind them. They load the cart, they get on the cart, and they begin to rush it. But there's like this gate that they have to go through first, and there's a guard that they know, Tommen, who's like this really dorky kind of guard. He's like, "Oh, hey everybody, hey, if you're leaving, I'll just need your toll." And they throw the gold at him, and they're like, "All right, open it." And they open the gate, and they run through, and there are guards behind them on horses who are like, "Open that gate, don't open it." And they continue to go through. The guards are like, "Wait, what's happening? What?" They're able to get out of the gate. They shut the gate. They have to reopen the gate for the other horses, the other 4 cavalry mounted knights, to ride after them, trying to get them. Now they have 4 mounted knights after them, while they're on a cart with Keothi, who's a Goliath, and all of their supplies, and they're like, "Do we throw stuff off? What do we do?" And Bianca's like, "I'll shoot the horses." That's where this meme has come from, of shooting horses. And everybody's like, "Jesus Christ, Felicity," and she's like, "What?" And
what did people... Okay, first off, Felicity, honestly, good idea, because it probably could work. So just 1 second before you keep going.
Yeah.
What do people think when they heard Cameron say what he did? Like with Desmond.
Everybody, we don't have cameras on anymore during Salamander Coast, just because the video was a little choppy, so we just do voice now. So, we didn't see anybody's reactions, but they still have them on Discord to look at each other. Felicity shat herself. So everybody was kind of freaking out, I'm assuming, and just kind of like, "Fuck, that's not good, Cameron." But he did what Desmond would do, and I know that sometimes we kind of poo-poo that statement, but I think in this situation it was worth it.
No, that makes... Yeah. That's see, the thing is in D&D, if someone plays your character like that truly, it's like oh shit moments that are valid, real, and look at what's happening now. This is a pretty... We're never going to forget that moment. Ever.
And just you wait, because Bianca says, "I'll shoot the horses," and then she shoots 2 of the horses and uses one of her blood hunter blood curses on the 3rd. So she does a blood curse of binding, so the horse stops in its tracks. So shooting 2 legs off of 2 different horses and then using a blood curse on the 3rd. So those 3 guards are either dead or incapacitated or just paralyzed because they landed on their necks, falling, going 40 miles an hour with plate armor. They fall. There's one more guard who's able to take a slice at Ashima and deals 15-20 points of damage to him. And Ashima's almost dead. And I forget how the fourth guard is taken care of, but I think Cecily does like shocking grasp and sends him off onto the side. And they have a moment, they sort of stop the cart, they pull it off the side of the road, and they're like, what the fuck do we do? They have this dust of tracelessness that they've had for forever. So they take the dust of tracelessness, they throw it on the ground, which makes their tracks, you can't track them. So they ride the cart down a little bit on the road, and then they use the dust of tracelessness, and then they run off into the forest, kind of leaving... Oh, no. They take their stuff off the cart, what they can carry. They leave the cart on the road, and they smack the horses to run off on the road with the cart to throw the guards off even further.
Yeah.
Then they
Smart.
run to the forest, the snowy forest, with their wood, some rations, and their tents. They eventually get to... Yeah, it was Cecily, okay. And they eventually get to somewhere where they're going to camp for the night. And then, after the second watch, there's a... Bianca is the one who's up for watch. She can hear something rattling from the trees, and she sees those ice creatures, like at the very edge of her vision. They aren't saying anything, they aren't moving fast, but they're slowly just stomping forward. And that's when Bianca was waking everybody up, and I actually ended last session by saying, Ashima, you look up, and you see pulling back a hood, Poe. And then I ended the session, because I really... I wanted to make sure that you had to be there, so I was like, Poe's already back. There's no way out of it. But yeah, so that's where the session ended.
Jeez.
So
now
they're outlaws, yeah.
We're all out. We ran away. Runaways.
You are
but,
the runaways.
Damn. So, gosh. Okay, so there's stuff that you can't answer with this, so I'm just going to try and ask you in a way that I know you can answer. How off the rail was that? Like, seriously. Like, how, like, with what you were planning, and then with what happened. How off the rails was that?
Literally off the track entirely.
Damn.
Off it. The railroad doesn't exist anymore. You guys are so far away from it now. It's
wow.
Off in La La Land right now, and you guys are in Neverland. It's crazy. I don't even know. Like, I was nervous about this next leg of the adventure because I thought it might be boring, you know? So that's why I used Keothi and her, like, keeps and her towers, because I was like, this is something you guys can do as you're traveling, going off the road, looking at these bandits, trying to piece together whatever happened to Keothi's people who was here. But now, for one, you have to be off the road because the law is after you, and then you're also going to have to deal with bandits because the woods belong to, like, the 4 different factions of bandits who exist here. The roads belong to the law. The wilderness belongs to the outlaws.
Yeah. Dang.
That's the way that it is.
Wow.
But there we go. That's it.
This is gonna be crazy. Wow. Seriously, I wish... That's like a... That did it. That's the moment that did it.
Yeah,
and then...
so...
Wow.
There you go.
But I do want to say, like, well, okay. So listen, I've been suppressing it for a long time, but I have a lot of chaotic tendencies that need entertained sometimes, and this is perfect. I love hearing when shit hits the fan, because that's when it gets really, really fun. Really, really, really. And that's also why I freaking... Okay, yeah. I could tell that it's the same for you, because you shot literally what I was about to say, because you... I love that. Literally when I heard that she pulled out, well, I'll shoot the horses, it's like, that's the creativity we're looking for. But no, seriously, hearing about each problem and how everyone cares, like shooting the horses, crazy good. But then, like, making sure the tracks were covered, sending the horses off, like, all of that was, like, super smart.
Oh, I just saw the quote that you put in there.
I needed to edit it. I was trying.
Back.
Put the whistle in there.
Oh God, that's so good.
That was my favorite moment. But no, I had a lot of favorite moments in this. I was like, I just want to say, at this point, and I love this, by the way. I think I mentioned it. I don't know. I think it's with one of the round tables we had where I said purposely putting holes in a character's backstory for like the DM to fill is so awesome because I don't know, it's like puzzle pieces. Like I'm glad that I like taking pieces of like say Poe and definitely the Noah and like giving it to you to really like integrate into your world because it's awesome because it's Joe and it's in Joe's world and this cool idea that I had at world and that means a lot to me. But also it's like there are always surprises and I have no idea what's going to happen next. Like I have no idea why everyone thinks that it turns out the last of Noah years ago. Why are people saying that? Was I lied to? Is that true? Is it false? Like what's happening? That's awesome. But also like what did the statue mean? Coffins. What was the thing slithering around? I literally have no idea. And if I do somehow have an idea, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like it's awesome and I love it.
Oh man.
Thanks for wrapping it together and also speaking of chaotic stuff, the fact that Poe's arm got cut off is just badass. I'm imagining I'm gonna have to.
I was in between because I didn't want to force it, but I also knew that there was a solution where it really wasn't detracting anything. It was just changing that mode. Also now, you know, I'm gonna say because he was kind of roguey that after it like dropped on the ground, you never said that you picked the the gauntlet up.
I know. When we were in the middle of combat, I realized I literally thought that. So I perfectly understand if I don't have it.
No, you do because if you recall, somebody asked you about it right beforehand. So
yeah,
it's in the arm.
Oh,
he was tinkering with it. That was his nervous tick. He would like tinker with it and he would like smack his arm. And so, yeah, you now have, that's one of the 3 things it can do.
That is so badass. I'm sorry. So like, I don't know if you've seen Berserk or read the manga. It's a manga. It's a brilliant, dark. It's very dark, but honestly super inspiring too. The main character, his name is Guts. Literally, this guy, I'm going to be really quick because it's taking a lot of time, but Guts, literally, this guy is the reason why his name is Guts is found by a pack of mercenaries. Like, it's morbid, I'm sorry, but like, he was found underneath a tree where a ton of people had hung themselves. This is like medieval fantasy, dark, and Guts is laying there, like, under, and it's, like I said, super dark, but it's a fantastic story. Mm-hmm. But Guts is literally this guy, his arm, and replaced it with like this like metal like cannon thing, huge ass sword. That's called like, I forget. No one told me to. It's like Dragon's badass. I saw that. I'm like, dude, Poe is going to be so bad. It'll be like Guts. But more than that, when I saw that his arm. First of all, that character was so cool. Armin, because I recognized, like, I don't know if it's Warforged, by the way, but you said Crystal, and then because I love that kind of stuff, but when I saw that, I'm like, this character, I need about it. And then the fact that I got the most interesting things about him, just saying.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's a badass.
It's very cool. Oh, man.
I'm going to have to, yeah.
Alrighty, well, that is it for our one-shot. Thank you all for hanging out for as long as you did. I hope you enjoyed. I sure had a heck of a lot of fun. Welcome to Foundry Tabletop. It's amazing. It's so good. I love it so much. Running it was so much fun. There are a few things that I still need to tweak with it, but it really just creates this really cool immersive experience that I'm all about. So I'll end our episode here. So thank you so much for watching, and tune in either tomorrow or the day after to catch reruns of the last episode of Afera or the Isles of Avarion. And on Thursday, Salamander Coast with Powassa Anoa. Then we have on Friday, the Explorers of Afera. Gonna go talk to the Silver Rose. Gonna try and free New Verdalka from the oppressive hands that are around it. And then on Saturday, maybe, it's tentative right now, but the Isles of Avarion and their exploration of the capital city of Avarion, Raven Rock. So tune in for those 3 things. I'm super excited for all 3 sessions, especially after the dynamite thing that happened here and the new use of Foundry Virtual Tabletop. Okay, thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a great rest of your morning, afternoon, or evening, whatever it may be for you. Alrighty, farewell and goodbye.
Bye.